Welcome to Larry Gary's channel.
We are back. We are live on YouTube. My God, I can't even tell you the last time we were live on my channel. I mean, Steve, it's been a while on mine. Oh my goodness, it's been a while on mine. We have an awesome show tonight. Nothing has been rehearsed. Nothing has been talked about. Everything is going to be coming completely off the top. We are doing an MCU ranking. We have 4 different personalities on screen. Let's start with
We don't gotta highlight this stuff. All right, we don't have to highlight
this guy already. Let's start with Matty Forge up in the corner. Matt, are you ready? You and I have talked about something like this for a while. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I got a little warm scotch tonight because I got a couple sniffles. So this is like a little cough syrup right here, and I'm ready to have some fun. Usually this crew is usually together on Whatnot, and I see a lot of the people came over from Whatnot. So welcome to YouTube. This is our world right now. Right?
Yeah.
So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a
good time. Davis, you know, you're no stranger to YouTube. You don't have your own channel, but you hop around. You're all over the place. This is not Whatnot, my friend. Are you ready for the rankings?
Well, to be fair, I've been saying for like 6 months that we gotta do this. There was
True.
right when the Defects were starting to do like the Whatnot streams, I'd be like, yo, when are we gonna do that? I even did one of these like kind of on the fly on Whatnot once. So I've been ready for this. I'm ready to get torn apart in the comment section because I got bad movie takes. I'm ready to defend Iron Man 3 to my grave.
We're gonna have a fight over Iron Man 3. Jay the Butcher, you weren't on Whatnot the last time we were all on, but how are you doing?
I am doing good. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat, to you guys. I told myself I'd never do a show involving the MCU again because all I do is end up arguing with some stranger in my DMs for the next 2.5 days. That just gets me so fucking aggravated. But I'm here to bash it. So
DMJ, don't DM him. Don't worry.
Please. But I spend my whole I spend my whole 2 days arguing with strangers I have no clue about and getting frustrated. But that's the story of my life. So let's talk about it. I'm excited.
All right, the way this is going to work, guys, it's really easy. We're going to go in. We're going to go in order, starting at the beginning of the MCU, which might catch a few people off guard. We're actually going to start with Incredible Hulk, which, you know, is it MCU? Is it not? It is. I mean, it is, right? We could all agree.
Wait, hold on. I thought you told me it was the last 3 years of MCU movies.
No, we're doing.
I'm not prepared anyway, but I'm not prepared at all.
No, we're doing all of it.
It's not a ranking. It's like a tier level. So
it's
easy
a
tier.
Everyone has their own tier. Right,
yep.
Jay, I'll manage yours. Everyone has their own tier. I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about here. So, boom. This is what it's going to look like. And we're going to take the movies from the bottom, right? I'll show you a quick example. We're going to take Incredible Hulk. I'll just start really quick, super easy. I'm going to put Hulk way down in the C section for me personally. And that's what you guys are going to see. Everybody sees that now. Hulk down in C. For crappy. No, it was all right. But
real laggy. I don't know if that's
it'll be
that's
all
his
right.
chickens.
Yeah, we might have to throw one of the roosters away. But that's a whole nother story, a whole different show. So this is what you guys are going to see. This is how it's going to work. We're all going to talk. We're going to argue. You guys in the chat, you have to be involved because we want to hear your opinions. Otherwise, we just make this a normal video and put it out. So we want everyone involved. So should we just get right into it and start with the Hulk? And I might as well start.
I think we should just start because you know what? The chat's going to get involved and then we're going to start fighting and going back and forth and everybody. So this show is going to take a while. So I think we should just start.
I feel like our first, I guess that's not true because Iron Man 3 is early on. I bet you the early on stuff is going to be pretty similar across the board. And then I think when it gets later is when there's going to be more arguing and bickering.
Yeah, and we could always tier it within each tier, you know? Oh, God. Ready to throw shots already. So I'm just going to go around the horn.
Don't hold back tonight.
I'm going to take Hulk. Now, this is Ed Norton's Hulk. And, you know, I really wish Ed Norton worked out and stayed in the MCU because I think we would have a completely different Bruce Banner in a positive way. And I think we'd have a better Hulk because I think he would be fighting tooth and nail to get Professor Hulk the hell out of here. And I think he would have been fighting tooth and nail to not have Hulk nerfed the way he was in Infinity War and then obviously Endgame.
Yeah.
So you have C is where you're putting it.
He's borderline D, but he's C. There's significantly better movies to me than Hulk. So I'm going to go to Matt now. Matt, where are you putting?
So here's the thing. So I think you have to remember that there's like the ranking from when you watch it and then the ranking from when you look back on it, right? Because a lot of these movies, when we first watched them, we were like, wow.
Yeah.
Right? And then other things happen. So I'm going to try to go somewhere in the middle. Like when I first watched Hulk, I was like, wow, this is a good movie. But now when I watch it, I'm like, this isn't as good as originally I thought, right?
That's true.
So I'm going to kind of average. You know, like I would have had the Hulk higher, like if you asked me when it first came out compared to now. So I'm in the same boat. Let me just add mine real quick. I'm at a C. Let me
I took E right off, Matt.
You took, what do you mean?
I took E off the table.
You took E. Oh, you took F and E off the table?
I have S, A, B, C, D.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right, so let me take my E off. Hold on.
There has to be a fucking F up there, dude. There's plenty of movies that get an F.
Let's just go from C to F. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right, you know what? I'll
be an
change
F.
D to F. How's that?
Yeah, there you go. S,
There
A,
you
B,
go.
C, and F. There you go. All right, so easy. I don't think there's a lot to talk about this one, so we'll go to Davis.
You put an F?
I put a C. C.
You put a C? Man, the thing is, because I mean, I would probably put a D. It feels crazy to go from C to F. It feels like a harsh jump. You know what I mean? Like,
So put it in D. I mean, everybody could do their own
some
thing.
of them
Everybody could do
deserve
their own thing.
that though. There's going to be movies.
Davis loves the D.
okay, all right, man, all right.
And it begins.
Do I want to go C or do I want to go F?
Well, Haley is saying Ed Norton was the worst Hulk. I strongly disagree.
I think early on. I think that I would say the first time I would say Avengers 1 Hulk versus this Hulk. I'm choosing Avengers 1 Hulk. He's a great actor. I think that
Ruffalo?
I think Ruffalo is a better actor than Ed Norton.
Oh no, I disagree on that.
I mean,
better actor or better
seen,
Hulk?
I don't know. Have you seen Zodiac? Like that guy.
Better actor or better Hulk?
Have you seen American History X?
Yeah,
man.
I don't know. They both do some pretty. They're both pretty big deal actors. They both done some pretty big roles. I think that they're definitely not super far apart. I'm curious in the chat if anybody thinks that there's a big difference between Ruffalo and Ed Norton.
Wow, the girls are agreeing with Davis.
I don't know. I think Ruffalo's he's a pretty good actor. There's a reason that he's in like.
I'm not knocking Ruffalo. I think Ruffalo's a little too soft to play Bruce Banner Hulk. Ed Norton is when I picture Ed Norton like.
I think of
he's
curb
just a badass.
I think of curb stomping when I think of Ed.
Yeah,
Norton, you know?
exactly what I think of Ed
I guess
Norton.
that's true. I mean, so are you going to share my thing or am I just ripping it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, here, boom.
So, I mean, I'm probably going to go F then if I got to go because I would have him in D, but if we're not doing D, I'm just going to go F because I just don't think it's.
Yeah,
if
you're gonna go D, you got to go F.
All right, yeah, we'll go F. We'll go F. All right.
All right. Let's go to Jay. I'm curious to see where Jay has this.
I would,
all right, Jay.
Dude. I'd be lying to you if I told you I even remember that movie. I'm so not prepared.
Same. I barely remember.
But you know what? I'll give it a C because I don't remember hating it. I remember hating a lot, mostly Phase 4. But listen, if we're gonna call out Hulk actors, I think the best Bruce Banner is Bill Paxton, and I think the best Hulk is fucking Lou Ferrigno, without a doubt. Ruffalo is a soft Hulk, and he totally destroyed Hulk in my opinion. And Edward Norton didn't fit that role for me either. So I don't know, man. Hulk's supposed to be badass. He's kind of wimpy in the MCU
I think
now.
Can we not to jump too far ahead, but do you think he was good in Avengers 1? Like, do you think the initial did you?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I thought he was great up until he bitched out to Thanos. I mean, once that happened, it was game over for me for the Hulk. If I'm not a big Hulk guy, but if I was a Hulk guy, I'd be totally pissed off at the way Hulk's
Dude, I'm not a Hulk
MCU
guy.
now.
And I'm pissed at what they did to the Hulk. I have a better ending for Infinity Gauntlet than what they did. Because it's stupid.
Oh, me too. Oh, okay. We could talk about that too because I got way better.
We'll get to
that. we could get to that as movies go on. Yep, absolutely.
All right.
I'm gonna give it a solid C since I don't know how to work a computer. Gary, if you could just throw a C up for me.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on. I wanna
Yeah, he was like,
this.
"Yo, everybody will do their own listing." I'm like,
Yo,
somebody's got to do Jay's. Somebody's got to do Jay's.
All right, hold on.
Someone got to do one.
Can you guys see that?
I was gonna say since he's after me, do you just want to leave mine up and I'll do Jay, so that way you don't gotta like bounce around too much?
Yeah, we could do that. You gonna open another tab?
Yeah, I mean, I think
All
it'll
right,
still
you do
feel-
that. Well, all right. So I'm gonna close Jay's out. Let me.
That's how
stop you
little
there.
faith. These guys have such little faith in me. They didn't even send me that to do my
No.
own. They were just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it for you."
Yo, but seriously, was that the right move?
100%.
Yeah, I was like, are we
Come
really
on, bro.
doing
We
that?
got you,
They're
bro.
like, come on. Yeah,
We
that's
got
Maddie
you, bro.
said be real when I asked him.
I'm
if he
throwing
was
up
gonna
a
do it.
C. I'll throw it up like that. Is
Yeah,
that
there you go.
backwards?
All right,
Nice,
let's
Jays.
go.
All right, we got it. All right,
All right, I got mine up too for if you want me to run his. I got one.
there you go. All right, so we're
All
good.
right.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
All right, let's go to number 2 now, which
Iron Man.
is Iron Man number 1. All right,
Oof.
Maddie,
Ooh.
you start with this one.
You want me to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna go around the horn. So I started with Hulk. You're gonna do Iron Man, and then so on and so forth.
That's an A for me, bro. That's an A for me. And I'm including, so it changed perception. Like it literally started the MCU, and RDJ's role in there was just iconic to me. I will remember it to the day I die. It's not like when I watched it, it was an S, but obviously it gets bumped down because of other movies, but it'll be the number 1 A for me. Like I'm assuming we're going to probably rank them in the tier at some point. It's going to stay in that first slot of A for me because I take into account everything that, like, I went with a huge group of friends to see this and we were all blown away. RDJ's role, it's the best character in the MCU to date. So to me, it started the whole thing. This is why I started watching the MCU that we know today. So it's an A.
All right, the Deadly 4 Venoms. Why don't you guys just use one list and just come to a consensus?
Nah,
you're gonna
fuck
see
that.
if you
We'll
hang
be here
around,
for
you're
3
gonna see why
hours.
we
I
can't
have
do that.
We'll be here for 3 hours.
It's gonna get so ugly once it starts.
As soon as Iron Man 3 comes up, we're gonna be so on different pages.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
different pages. You might get kicked from the stream.
I know. All right,
Oh, you're next, Davis.
Yeah,
Where are you going, Iron Man 1?
I got to go A, of course. Like I agree. I think I only have like 3 probably movies in my S tier. I think like I'm pretty much exactly what Matt was saying. He's like, it's really what started it all. It's an amazing movie. It's got a lot of replay value. I'm gonna be somewhere between, it's like, do I think it's the best movie? Is it the movie that I want to watch the most? Like somewhere in between, because there's a lot of movies. If we're just talking MCU, that I'm gonna throw on and just watch it. It's a lot of movies before Iron Man 1, but Iron Man 1 is better than almost all those movies. So it's like I'm gonna go somewhere in between those when I'm doing my list. And so, yeah, for sure, a high A. That's where I'm gonna be at. And then, do you want to share my thing?
Oh yeah, I forgot. So I have control of yours. There you go.
Okay, so I'm in
So
A,
Davis-
and then I
Now,
got
Jay, where are we going with Iron Man 1?
Wait, there's something higher than A? Oh,
Yeah,
no, that's
S.
my name.
S is like God tier. I don't know
It's
why
like
that
God
is.
tier.
But
Yeah,
S
I
is
don't know
like
why
God
they did
tier.
that, but
S.
yeah.
Yo, dude. Iron Man 1 is an S for me then. It's
Yes.
I'm
iconic.
okay with that. I'm okay.
I
with that.
agree.
Listen, I'm a comic book reader, guys. Before a movie watcher, I don't watch many movies. I try. I mean, my favorite movie is probably 7. That's the genre I like.
7? All right.
I give it a super, dude. It's very comic book accurate. It's basically the same origin story. Robert Downey Jr. plays a knockout role. You can't even picture a different Tony Stark. It's basically what started the MCU, in my opinion. So I go super, whatever, S. I go S. The
And
highest.
I also
tier
have
possible.
Iron Man 1 in the S. I agree with Jay 100%. I can't argue putting an A tier, especially if it's your top A. But Iron Man 1, they couldn't have essentially started the MCU with a better movie.
Yep,
Like,
agreed, totally.
It was perfect, and Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. So it just worked
100%.
out amazingly. All right, Jay. Davis, I got you on the screen taking care of Jay. Next up
It's you.
is
You.
Or is Jay doing the next one?
Jay is next for Iron Man 2.
Where'd you go, Gary?
I went
Did you
S.
Did you do yours though? Did we show?
Yeah,
it?
I threw it right up there.
All
Yep.
right, go ahead.
So it's me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give
Iron
Iron Man
Man
2 a
2.
B.
A B?
I love it, dude. I loved Whiplash, right? I loved what's his name?
War Machine.
Mickey Rourke. I love fuck War Machine. I
Oh.
love Mickey Rourke. Yeah, my type of dude, right? Mickey Rourke's an awesome actor. Loved his earlier work. Loved him in The Wrestler. He made the movie for me. Not as good as number 1, but definitely probably in my top. I would say my top 8 MCU movies.
Jay, I'm going to
and
stop you
yeah.
there. I think you're going to change your mind by the end of this. I don't think you're going to have Iron Man 2 in your top 10 by the time we're done.
Yeah, we might
But
move stuff. We might move
I
stuff.
think so,
Yeah.
dude. Only because of Mickey Rourke, bro. He's badass.
He was awesome. And this was right after The Wrestler. Do you remember that?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, listen, I give it a B. I think it's definitely in my top 8. That, like you said, that could change. I forget all these movies. I've been drinking. It's been a long week. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's
I
go.
agree with Gary. Putting it in the top 10 is kind of surprising.
I said top 8. It's in my top 8. Top 10.
We'll see.
All right.
I mean, yeah, that's it. I'll give it a B. Top 8 for me.
Or what are we doing now?
I'm actually going to go C. And I'm
Okay.
going to put it. Can I switch these two? I'm going to put it ahead of Hulk in tier C, but it's tier C for me. I don't know. Second best Iron Man movie. All right, Davis.
That's easy. That's easy.
Oh, no, this is Maddie. Maddie, you're up.
Yeah, I went B as well with Jay. It'll be probably the bottom of the Bs, but honestly, I liked, again, I think like Jay said, the villain did it for me, Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
He was a dope villain. I like the little teamwork, the team up of War Machine and Iron Man, and it gets a bad rap in my opinion. And RDJ sets the bar again. You know what I mean? So I'm going B. It may get bumped down to the beginning of C right now, but right now it's at the end of the Bs for me.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Davis.
I'm good.
I am also going to go B. I think that this is the worst Iron Man movie.
Oh my
not
God.
far behind number
Whoa, it already
Here we
starts.
go.
You're
not
so
far
dumb.
behind
There we
number
go.
3. I think that I don't think that Whiplash gets enough screen time. I think that he's kind of,
I could agree
behind
with that.
Justin. What's his name?
Justin Hammer.
Yeah. So like that guy is messing with them. It's like their whole dynamic is kind of annoying to watch to me. Like I think to me the movie is best because of all of the because this is the one where he finds out that his dad, like he sees like the projection and he hears the old stuff and he finds the old plans, right? Where he says like, you are my greatest. That's that whole storyline, all that. That's why that's my more favorable part for this movie. I think Whiplash is cool. I don't think that he was as cool as he could have been. I think Mickey Rourke killed the role.
Oops.
I think I'm already getting kicked off.
You got the Buddha ready, bro.
Gone.
Yeah, but yeah, so I have it in B as well, but it's probably going to be like mid Bs for me.
All right. Guys in the chat, get involved here. We're on Iron Man number 2. You have S, A, B, C, and F. Emerald Knight House.
Let's see. I don't see a lot of letters in the chat.
I don't
Let's
see a lot of letters. We got to get the
Get
chat involved here.
Yeah, as soon as we get to that one, you guys should be saying what you think your letter is.
Oops. Hold on. There we go. That's our order right there. All right, Jay, are you ready? So I'm the only one in the C tier. It looks like all you guys have them in B for Iron Man 2.
It's going to be low B for me, but yeah.
All right.
All right.
Next up, Jay.
I'm first now, I guess, so I got to be ready.
You got to be ready.
All right.
For number 1.
Oh, God.
We're going back, dude. We're going back almost a decade now. I think it is.
I fucking hate Thor, dude.
F.
I'm gonna give it a C.
Nope.
I'm gonna give it a C.
Bottom
That's
C.
fair. That's fine. You got that, Davis, on your end?
Yeah, do you want to share my, because like, do you want it behind?
After Hulk or before? Yeah, that's you. After Hulk or before? Oh, this dude's faded, bro.
No, are you talking to me? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm trying to talk and everybody's fucking interrupting me. But you said I go first, right?
They want to know where you want it.
Before or after Hulk?
A fucking C. It's a C. And then I was explaining myself, and then everybody's jumping in, fucking. Holy shit! Everyone will have their fucking turn.
No, they want it. He wants to know where to put it. Before Thor, before Hulk, or after Hulk?
We're doing that too.
Yeah, we're making
you
our
don't have
actual
to.
list.
You don't have
That's
to.
right here on the
Jesus
fly.
Christ, this is complicated. Yeah, the fucking leave it where it is.
All right.
All right,
Too
we'll leave
much
it
for
there.
Jay.
Yeah, I if they made Thor like a Game of Thrones-esque type of movie, I thought it would be dope. Too much humor for me. I didn't read many Thor books, so I don't have much to compare it to. But I don't know, man. Just a B after Hulk. A C after Hulk. How about that?
Okay,
All right.
respect it.
I'm going to go here. Now, Thor's my guy, which is why I get so upset talking about these Thor movies. I'm going to go B, but he's probably going to be at the end of my Bs. Go back and watch, for anybody who hasn't watched the first Thor movie recently, go back and watch it. It's actually, it's a little better than I remember, and it's much better than Love and Thunder, which makes me happy, because wait till we get to that one, Davis.
Let's start burning through these. Let's start burning through these.
Maddie, you're up.
Yeah. I got it at the beginning of the C's. It was good. It has replay value. Not great, but it's at the beginning of the C's for me. Okay. Although I do give this warmed up McAllen an S. Just saying.
All right, we are back to me.
Oh no, wait, I haven't gone for Thor yet.
Oh, go ahead, Davis.
I'm gonna put Thor for now at C, and I think it'll be the end of C. It might even. I did not care for the first Thor. I haven't seen it in a long time, but yeah, I think it was just very boring and tonally felt very weird. Like the way they dressed him up and everything looked odd. I just don't think it was a great movie. So I have it in C, and it might even bump down.
Where's Davis's?
Davis, he forgets to click back and forth on the window.
I gotta click share this tab. Okay,
there you go. There's Davis.
Okay.
All right.
This is nice and even, nice and neat.
Yeah,
I like it.
I've got Captain America, the First Avenger. In the B tier, guys, the chat, Captain America, #1. Where do you have it? I have it in the lead of Bs.
Wait, now you're going first?
Yeah, I'm going first.
We gotta pick an order and just always go through. Let's just go through. Let's just do it. Gary, Matt, me.
Yeah.
Just
all right.
Yeah.
That works.
All right, Matt.
I was all prepared to say something.
B tier, but I got it at the beginning. I got it before Iron Man 2. I like this movie. I really like Captain America. The first time I watched it, I was like, but it has so much replay value. I love watching it on rewind now.
Okay.
The first one, I remember watching Cap 1 way back when and not liking it as much. And then now going back and watching it and be like, yeah, this was good.
Yep.
All right, Davis, you're up.
I was about to say, I think we're all on the same page because I remember also like falling asleep the first time that I watched this movie. And I'm going to put it before Iron Man 2. I remember also falling asleep, not caring for it. And then I rewatched it a few years ago after not watching it for a long time. And I was like, it's better than I remember. But I still think it's not the greatest start to Captain America.
It's not even it's the weakest Captain America movie of the three.
What do you say?
It's the weakest of the three Captain America movies.
By far.
Technically, there's only 2 Captain America movies.
Yeah, it's really an Avengers movie and 2 Captain America movies. But
yeah.
We got a lot of A's for Captain America in the chat, a couple B's. So we're in the neighborhood. We're in the neighborhood.
All right, so I got Jay up. Jay, where you at?
Everyone's going to bash me, dude. This is why
No.
I'm going C only because Cap is way too wholesome for my liking personally. I love
Jay
the whole
couldn't
bully.
pick up the hammer.
Yeah, no way. I can never pick up the hammer. Was it a good movie? Yeah, it's just too much. I don't know, man. The whole marching and I don't know, him and Peggy. I didn't like Peggy's haircut. It just didn't do it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's a reason to bump it down.
Yeah.
I'm going C, behind Hulk, after Thor, in between whatever the fuck else I said.
So I'm leaving it here, I guess. You said after Thor.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, all right, fuck it. All right.
Let's keep it moving.
All
right, I'm up now.
It was accurate for that time. I'm more, I guess, it was before the perm, I guess. You might be right.
Guys, next one's a big one. Avengers #1. This will be the first one I throw in my A tier, and it will be probably my #1A. I don't know if anyone remembers. This has got to be probably the best moment. Let me see if I have it here. Best moment of Avengers #1.
I like it.
Moving on. Let's go, Maddie.
I like it. I got it in A. It's in A, but it's after Iron Man. Probably gonna catch some flack for that, but again, Iron Man has a special place in my heart. So Iron Man might get moved up to the S class for me, but we'll see what happens. Right now,
you and I are essentially in nearly the same order, except
Very
I have
close.
Iron Man in S and I have Avengers in A.
Very close, yeah.
Very close. All right, Davis, you're up. Avengers number 1.
Avengers 1 in A, and I am going to put it in front of Iron Man. But yeah,
I'm not mad at that. It's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah,
we're gonna start getting nasty in the next one. But go ahead, Jay. Where do you put Avengers?
Dude, I'm putting Avengers at S. It's the first Avengers movie. It's everything that built up Phase 1 into the Avengers. Hulk, it was pre-Hulk pronouns. He didn't have pronouns in this movie. I like it, dude. I'm going S all the way. It's the fucking Avengers in the MCU, dude.
It was the first time we'd seen anything like this in cinema. Ever.
Yeah, dude, it was the build-up, man. It was the build-up from everything and then led into this. This is what everybody was waiting for.
What's your order for us?
Truth.
Do you have it ahead of Iron Man 1?
No.
Okay.
I don't think there might not be anything ahead of Iron Man 1 for me.
All right. This is where things are going to start getting crazy because the next movie is Iron Man 3. And Iron Man 3 is going in F. I don't care what Davis says or what he thinks. Go ahead, Matt. You're up.
Yeah, F. I got it in F as well.
God.
I mean, it's not good. I mean, if it's like probably at the top of F. But it's not. The villain is not good. They totally butchered the Mandarin. That really pissed me off. I mean, I'm not like one of those get off my lawn type of guys, but like that was so bad.
You took a villain of the Mandarin status and hyped everyone up, and we were all like, yo, here comes the Mandarin. You didn't even fake us with a good villain. Like you shit on Mandarin and then gave us a crap villain on top of it. So I'm like,
but the real Mandarin
even if they threw Mandarin to the garbage and hit us with the leader, you'd been like, ugh, all right.
All I'm saying is we got a nerd and a botanist that destroyed like 25 Iron Man suits. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I can't
with
fuck
the help
with
of Extremis.
Fucking Extremis. All of a sudden,
I think I'm gonna be with Davis on this. I'm to see where he goes.
All right, so I am going to put it. I'm going to put it at B. I don't think it's an amazing movie. I'm going to put it at B. It's going to end up being towards the back of B. But here's the thing.
Jesus Christ.
There is great fight sequences. I like the dynamic with the kid. There's some funny moments in it. I think the end sequence, I rewatched it last night, has some cool moments in it. When he sends the suit onto him, tells him to explode and jumps away, I love that scene. I did not know shit. Iron Man wasn't not something that I knew a lot about. I didn't know who Mandarin was, but I just know that when I was in theaters in 2013 and the Mandarin was scary on all the news clips. All right. That was all sick. And then the twist, I was like, oh shit. But they immediately show homeboy like shooting a girl. Like they made him a bad guy to replace the Mandarin real fast. I don't know. I think it was still a fun movie. It's a Christmas movie. I think there was some cool moments when he passes out in the suit and he lands in the snow. I think there's some cool moments that happen in it. I'm not super mad at them switching out the Mandarin, especially because we got cool Mandarin a few years, a while later. Ben Kingsley's a great actor. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a decent movie.
All right, Lex, I see you.
I have it. Ooh, that's where I'm going to lose.
Oh my God!
What's happening right now?
Fucking kidding me? All right.
I might switch out. No, I think you're right. I can't go that far. I'm more so trying to prove a point, but I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be by any. No, I think it's a decent movie.
All right, so here we go, Davis. Here's going to be, and I'm curious, Jay, to see where you go now. But let's see. You've put Iron Man 3 in. Let's see what movies you think are worse. What's happening? Oh, that's not Jay's pick. Let's see what MCU movies you have behind Iron Man 3. That's what I'm curious about now. So let's go. All right, Jay, Iron Man 3.
I'm going C. This is where my comic book reading comes into play because I have a tendency to compare shit, and I really shouldn't, but I do. I love the Iron Man Extremist story arc in comic books. It was absolute fire. I'm giving it a C. I liked it. A lot of people didn't like what they did with Mandarin. I liked it because it was all propaganda to get people scared. And if you look into it, it's a pretty fucking dope concept.
Yeah, he was scary.
Yeah, it was scary. It made the public seem like he was a scary character, and he was more like my uncle that was bombed at my house on Christmas. So I loved it. I thought he played a great role.
Yep.
I loved Extremis. Like Davis said, the battles, great battles. Definitely my third favorite Iron Man movie, but I'll put it, if we're doing all this like crazy calculated shit, I'll put it at C behind Hulk.
Ooh, you also have it. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, dude. I love that. Hell yeah. It's not a bad movie. That's a movie that I think people like Age of Ultron, which we'll get to, have decided isn't good, and it's snowballed. That movie is not as bad. You watch it again, it's got some good comedy, some good action. Like, I get not liking the twist, but like, if you get
Davis, we will get into
a lot to ask. Like, that's like Ben Kingsley he plays a good role before he's when he's a bad guy, and he plays it well when he's just a drunk fool. Like, he plays both sides really well. He's great at it, and like, the tattooed weird version of what's his face, whatever. It's kind of weird, but like the way he takes him out is badass. And I don't know. I think there's some really cool moments with the.
I got you back here, Davis. Come on, bro.
Davis, I'm actually going to agree with Davis when we get to Avengers 2. I think that gets a little too much hate, but it also had a really tough time to like outdo the first one. I'm going to go now.
Hold up.
Before we move on.
Hold on. I give Gary's internet service an F. Is there anything below F?
Yeah.
What? I think it's been fine.
Yeah, it's a little off. But before we move on from Jay, did you see did you notice that Gary got a haircut recently?
I did. I noticed that. I noticed. Is that, if that's what you want to call it, a trim? I call it a trim.
He got his hair did. I don't know if you guys saw, he posted it on Instagram. I don't know if anybody follows him on Instagram. Davis, did you see the post?
Oh, yeah.
But did you see the video?
Wait, hold on, Matt. Before you go even farther, like, most dudes go to a barbershop. Gary goes to a salon. And so does Davis.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, I go to a.
No. Yeah.
I go to a place that got both, and sometimes a dude. I walk in, I'm like, who can cut my hair? Look at this kid. They're like, all right, that person. Sometimes a guy, sometimes a girl. I don't know.
Where did Gary go?
He said, I'm getting out of here.
No, I'm getting my internet going now. You got me all nervous. I'm gonna go plug in.
I gotta wait.
Gary's going to rub dry shampoo in his hair.
Yeah. He's trying to fix it up.
His hair's all dry. What are we talking about?
We actually have footage from when Gary first came.
Oh shit!
From his haircut. So we'll wait for Gary to get back because I don't want him to miss it. Because I don't know if he actually saw this view.
He got all did up before Christmas.
Oh God, Gary needs frosted tips.
Yo, Gary's the only person I know that still washes with herbal essence.
Wait, I think I use herbal essence.
Yo, Davis is wearing a lace front. I mean, Haley, why you gotta beat up on Davis?
What is the lace front?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, so Gary, I don't know if you knew, but there was when you first got home from your haircut, there was a video that me and Jay obtained. So we're just gonna show it to the people.
I can't wait.
Put the stuff down and then you throw this. Sorry. Holy sorry.
Oh God, dude, I love that video. I was not expecting
How did you guys get that video from my camera?
Play it again.
As soon as it popped up, I was like, no way, dude.
Yo, I'm crying.
Oh my God. At first, I thought it was like his actual family when I looked up, and then I realized the clip was.
That's an accurate video. Did you guys hack into my
super accurate
camera?
That's Gary that's him picking up a collection.
You look at comic books, they freak out. Oh my God.
Oh,
I got tears too, Matt. I got tears.
God. That's when somebody's dad dies and they call the guy to pick up the comic books and they see Gary show up.
Yeah.
No, we don't got any books. Go home.
They're like, fuck.
Wrong house. That's next door.
Yo, I'm losing it.
God.
I'm losing it. Oh my God.
Oh God, they're killing you, bro.
You're getting crushed.
It's all right.
Gary always looks like he just got home from a Fish concert.
All right,
Okay.
let's move on.
Yeah. So what do we got next? Gary's up first.
Oh my
right?
god. Oh my god. That hurts my stomach.
Where are we now? Hold on. I'm
Thor
all thrown-
Dark
okay.
World.
Oh, this one's gonna
Thor
be
Dark World.
I assume we're all on the same page with this one.
No, we are not.
Really?
We are not. All right,
Wow.
my go. Here we go. We're doing
There's no
Thor
way I
Dark
can
World.
prep Iron Man to be
This
defended.
is probably going to be the one where we argue the most about.
Wow.
I
here we
think
go.
Thor
I'm ready.
Dark
This
World
is what
gets
let me take a
way too
sip.
much hate. Is it a great movie? Hell no. It's not the worst Thor movie, and I still put it ahead of Iron Man 3. It'll probably be at the very end
Oh, okay.
of C.
That's not terrible. I thought you were gonna try and put it in like A or B.
No, I'm realistic here, Davis. Come on. I don't have Iron Man 3 way up top.
You said we were gonna argue. That's not that bad.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if people put it in F. See, look at the chat going.
Yep. I got it in a C too. Same place, same reasons. I think it's decent. Malekith is okay.
So
There's some
here's my
cool-
reason.
There's some
Here's a
cool
big reason
aspects
that
of the
you-
movie. It's dark,
Yep.
literally. So
Maddie, you've probably heard me say this. Jay, Davis, you probably have all heard me say this, but I love when these movies move the overall story forward.
Sure.
And there was an Infinity Stone in Dark World. We got the Ether, which was an Infinity Stone. And it's a lot more than Iron Man 3 gave us to the overall story. We never got anything from Iron Man 3. So I like that big overall arcing story. That's why I'm going to put it where I did. So there you go. All right. Davis, you're up.
All right. It's a bad movie. It's boring. It's not fun. Malekith is such a cool character, and Malekith was not a cool character in that movie. Malekith was not mean enough. He was not scary enough. He did not do nearly enough.
Let me stop you right there, because you
Uh-oh.
better say the same shit for fucking Love and Thunder and Gore.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Gore was not what he should
He's
have been
about to
either.
cook.
I'm definitely not going to argue that. But here's the thing. The comedy in Love and Thunder is better than Dark World.
It's not. Who cares?
There is better moments in Love and Thunder than Dark World. Dark World has
Dark World
no
wasn't supposed to be
memorable
funny.
scenes.
All right, hold on. We'll get into that after.
We'll
keep going.
get
We'll
into
keep
that.
going.
Tell me one funny scene in Dark World. I can at least tell you a couple funny scenes. in
They're
Love and
what? It's Thor. It's like Arc Barbarian.
Dark
It's not
Then
World.
what was
supposed to
I
be
say for
funny.
Ragnarok thing? 'Cause that movie's a fucking comedy.
like saying you want to laugh at Freddy
You know what I'm
Krueger.
saying? That's a good counterpoint. Oh, it's Thor. It can't be funny. That's all
I didn't
Ragnarok
say
was.
it can't be. Well, you're also talking about two different directors and two different types of movies.
I'm
It's
just
the same
saying, if you're
character,
gonna pull out the
completely
it's
done
Thor,
differently.
It can't be funny. We gotta hold that against it for Ragnarok too.
No,
We'll
Ragnarok
get
was a
to it,
better
but I
overall
got it in F.
story,
I got
better
it in F.
villain.
I got it above Hulk, but I got it in F. All right, where you at, Jay?
All right, let me see. Pull up my shit.
Here you go.
All right, this is me.
I know Jay's got this high on his list.
Yeah, I'm gonna, dude. I like the dark shit. I like the horror s type of movies. I'm gonna give it a B, man, and I'm gonna get crushed in the comments. But I like Malekith. It was the darkest Thor that we had, which
You're right.
is supposed to be.
You're
It's
right.
not supposed to be comedy. I mean, yeah, I give it a B, man. Did I do any B's yet?
Yeah.
I
I
definitely put it before Thor 1. So you could just that's the only B I have. I can't even. I need binoculars to see my fucking.
Yeah, it's tough.
Right.
You have
It's
Iron
tough.
Man 2 in there.
Huh?
Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
is in
Okay.
there.
Yep. I like it just like that. Right after Iron Man 2. Yep.
Okay.
I like the dark stuff, man. I'm a fucking dark dude.
I like dark stuff too, but I just don't think it was dark enough for Malekith. I just think that it was like, I don't know. There wasn't really memorable scenes in it. Like it was just a flat movie. That's the best way I can say it. And the movie is just flat. There's nothing that special about it. There's no shining moments. There's nothing necessarily terrible, but it's just the most forgettable MCU movie in my mind.
You're atrocious.
Let's keep
Next.
going. We're going to be here for 3 hours if we don't go faster.
Sorry.
All
All
We
right.
should
right,
have done
here we
this.
go.
We
This
should have done
is,
this. Yeah, you should have put a twist on this and done the ratings by like bra size from A to like triple D.
Yeah,
That would have been awesome.
I like that. I like that.
Awesome.
All right, guys, this is where I think we're all going to line up. Winter Soldier for me, S, and I'm actually putting it ahead of Iron Man 1. This movie was so good. So good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Matt. Like top to
Yeah.
bottom, this movie was great.
S. A little while back, we did MCU rankings on our channel. I had this as my number 1, so It's an S for me. I can rewatch this movie at any point, whereas some of the later movies that are going to be in the S tier, those are like event type movies where you have to sit down and actually watch it. This is something you could have on no matter what you're doing. Best movie for me in the MCU so far. S.
And directed by the Russos. Just saying.
Killer movie.
Yeah, I agree. I'm S. I think that there's definitely a difference. You know, I think a lot of comic book movies get passes for just being a fun comic book movie, and there's very few comic book movies that are like good movies outside of being comic book movies. Like the Dark Knight trilogy is a good example. Like a lot of these movies, they're not that great on like the film spectrum, if you will, and there's a few that are. And I think this one's closer to like a Bourne movie. Like I can show my dad this movie, and he's gonna be like, "This is awesome." So, yeah, this movie is basically perfect. I have it in S as well.
Good point.
All right, Jay.
100% S for me, guys. It's such a good movie all around. That's another reason why I put Captain America 1 so low, because the second one was just so much better.
Agreed.
Definitely the best Captain America movie, in my opinion. I don't know what more to say. You guys pretty much covered everything, and I want to just make myself a drink real quick, so I'm going to cut it short.
All right, where we are right now is you're basically hovering in the premier MCU timeline. Like here is where things just took off, because we just talked about Winter Soldier, which was an S movie across the board, by the way. I think that might have been the first one we may have all agreed on. The next one, Guardians of the Galaxy. I am putting Guardians in the S tier, and I'm actually putting Guardians right in front of Winter Soldier, the first Guardians movie, right in front of Winter Soldier. All right, Maddie.
We deviate a little bit. I have it as an A right after Iron Man. Fantastic movie. I was totally blown away when I watched it. I remember watching it and just saying to myself, like, did I just watch the best MCU movie? Like, at that point, Winter Soldier wasn't. Oh no, it was out. I wasn't sure. Like it was that close. Iron Man, Winter Soldier, but I have it right after Iron Man. They could be interchanged. Soundtrack, characters, actors. Just not knowing much, not being a Guardians fan. I had a more of an open mind, which I think helps sometimes. Yeah. This was an absolutely fantastic movie. I really don't know anybody that doesn't like this movie, whereas some of these other movies, you tend to get somebody that's like, this movie seems to be in everyone's top 7. You know, I don't really know anybody that's told me that it's outside the top 7. So, fantastic movie.
It's definitely out of my top 7, but it's not far out of my top 7. It's very high up there. I love this movie, and we'll get. I feel like you guys are not going to argue many of the movies in front of it. To be fair, like I think that. Like the Infinity War, like I don't know. We'll see when we get there. We'll see if you guys are actually giving me shit for it later. It's definitely a very high A for me. I'm gonna put it after Avengers and Iron Man, but I think all 3 of those movies are like right in the same realm for me. Like I think that I also agree that Guardians. I remember watching it and being like, where the hell did this come from? But like, I can't put it over Iron Man. I can't put it over Avengers, but it's like barely behind those for me.
Okay, we'll see where it winds up.
Incredible movie, and it's definitely one of my favorites. I just think there's a few better ones. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Jay. Guardians 1.
My favorite MCU movie of all time.
There we go.
That's for me. Right. Dude, I have Star-Lord tatted halfway up my leg. That says enough. Everybody, like I said, always breaks my ball. Oh, my fucking earpiece went out. Everybody always breaks my balls about me hating on the MCU. But this is definitely my favorite MCU movie of all time. Soundtrack is dope. Movie's dope. Background for all the characters are dope. That's it. My favorite MCU.
Jay, like every
character is great. Real quick, where do you put Winter Soldier in your order? We didn't do that. Is this right?
Winter Soldier. I put it before Avengers.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than Avengers. But yeah, man, fucking Guardians, such a sick, awesome movie. My number 1, every character development was dope. I guess we'll get into 2 and 3 later, but yeah, what more could I say? My favorite MCU movie.
All right.
Okay, next up, I don't know how we're gonna go about this one.
Somebody just asked. We'll do this real quick. Somebody just asked, are we ranking on story or entertainment? I think it's a mixture. It's got to be the overall experience. We can't put these things in a vacuum. You have to, all the variables come into play when you're ranking them. So, God.
All right, I'm going to go here. My go, Avengers Age of Ultron. I do think this one gets a lot of hate. And remember, you just watched Winter Soldier, and then you watched Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Avengers 2 came out. Like, this is prime MCU. I'm going to put it in my A tier, but I don't know where it's going to land in the A tier. People hate on this a little too much. If you haven't watched Avengers 2 in a while, go back and watch it because it's very good. You not only got Scarlet Witch, you got Quicksilver, you got Vision, and Ultron was a badass villain. I'm sorry. He was a good villain. Yeah. You also got Claw in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
Matty go, yeah.
I have it at the beginning of B. It might end up at the bottom of A, but same reasons.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I feel like people will try and put it in like F. I'm going to put it in A. I'm gonna put it over Guardians. I'm sorry. I remember.
Whoa,
I remember getting out of this movie and thinking that movie was fucking. I love that movie. I think they did. Obviously, Avengers 1 did what it did, but I think that they did everything that happened in Avengers 1 like just as good. There was some stuff that was a little not as good, but like the action sequences were amazing. All of, like the highway stuff and like the sliding on the street with the shield and like the flying. I don't know. The action sequences are awesome. The character introductions are awesome. Vision coming out was sick. I don't know. I don't think there's anything to dislike about this movie personally. I remember thinking everyone's gonna love that movie and then being very confused when I found out people didn't like it. So I think it's, like I said, a snowball effect. People decided they didn't like it. Everyone jumped on board. I think it's an amazing movie.
All right, Jay.
I got bad takes. I'm owning it. It's fine.
No, I'm going A as well, dude. I thought Ultron was done great. I thought he was voice charactered great. A lot of action, right? A lot of depth to the movie. I'm pissed off they didn't bring back Ultron, which they should have, and maybe they will do in the future. But yeah, that's an A for me. Is it my only A?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the first. That's the first A you'll ever see next to my name on report cards, whatever you call it. It's usually D and F for me, but yeah, I'm gonna give it. That's a solid A, dude. I'm a villains guy. He was probably my top 5 villains in the MCU.
See, like I see someone saying he should have been more sinister. I think that I don't think he cracked very many jokes at all. I think he was plenty sinister. I think he had some pretty. He was a dope
villain.
I think he was a good villain.
Many jokes.
I think people forget about him just a little bit because, again, we got Scarlet Witch, we got Quicksilver, we got Vision. Like, I think people sleep a little bit on Ultron in that movie, but I definitely disagree with the people who think it's not as good as some of the other top MCU movies. Next up, Ant-Man, the first one. I'm gonna go C here, but I'm gonna go probably after Iron Man 2. I think I'm gonna go before Iron Man 2. I'm gonna go at the top of the C as of right now. Maddie.
Oh, damn it. Haley's killing you, bro.
Yeah, Haley's just absolutely destroying you. I got Ant-Man as a B, right above Iron Man 2. I liked it. I like Paul Rudd. I think all the supporting characters are good. I thought it was a good story. It was funny enough, not too funny. I wasn't a huge Ant-Man comic book, again, so it gives me a little bit more of an open mind, so I enjoyed it.
There was a lot of comic book nods in this movie. I remember, Tales to Astonish and all the other Ant-Man stuff. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Davis. You're up.
Same. I'm going to go. It's probably going to end up like low B. I'm going to put it over. No, I don't know. I might move that around. But yeah, I mean, I remember being surprised by this movie. There's really nothing to complain about. Like, it was not meant to be taken too seriously. It's like a lighthearted, fun movie with like a family kind of vibe to it. And I think it was good. Simple as that. What do you say, Jay?
All right, Jay.
I'm going B as well because Ant-Man, listen, in the MCU, you should have movies that are more dark and then more lighthearted, like Davis said. I thought it was a family fun movie. Scott Lang was awesome. Paul Rudd was awesome. Ant-Man is what it is, right? It is what it is. And this is going to take me into Ant-Man 2 and Quantumania as well. But I thought all the characters were good in it. I liked how they brought in the Wasp. I like how they brought in Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. A B for me. and I'm gonna leave it right where it is. That's a movie that pops on TV and I could watch it.
Who doesn't love Evangeline Lilly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I think the people who work with her don't like her, but other than that, I think.
Oh, really?
I've heard some bad things about her on the set of Lost from people who were there, but that's something else.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's high grades for Ant-Man in the chat. Just saying.
I like it, dude.
I think I'm the low man here. I'm the low man.
Yeah. It's a fun movie.
Next up, Civil War, guys. Let me get myself on here. Civil War. Get ready for this one. I'm going to say I did really like this movie. I'm going to go, ooh, man. It's probably my A's. Probably in between Avengers and Age of Ultron as of now. Can't forget. I mean, just this.
All right. I've run out of patience. On to Ruse! Nice job, kid.
Thanks. Well, I could have stuck the landing a little better. It's just a new suit.
True.
So there you go. I'm going to go A tier, behind Avengers 1, ahead of Age of Ultron. Maddie, you're up.
I'm in the same place. Before, A tier after Avengers, before Age of Ultron. So
wow.
Yep.
All right, Davis.
I am going to go A. I'm going to put it above Age of Ultron for sure. I'm going to put it behind. I would say that I would rather watch this over Iron Man and Avengers because I think it has more fan servicey moments that are enjoyable. Like it's so much more like that was cool, and less plot building. But it's definitely not as good a movie as those. But if I'm just putting something on, I'm probably going to put on Civil War before those. But obviously, Iron Man and Avengers are, they are what they are, and I could completely agree that it should be behind them. So I'm putting it A.
Jay.
All right. So like I said before, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but here's where reading comics and comparing them to movies.
Oh yeah, this is a tough
hinders
one
my thoughts.
Yep.
The Civil War story arc was so dope, dude. I mean,
yeah,
I agree.
I'm going to give this, I should give it a fucking C, but I'm going to give it a B just because it's a fun movie to watch. And just because I don't want to be biased comparing comics to.
Can't compare, right?
I think it's okay, though.
Right?
It's a great.
Yeah, I mean, I compare a little bit, right? Because it's based off that. It's called Civil War. But having like an 8-person fight scene at an airport compared to like a huge battle in the comic books, I'm going to give it a B, but I'll give it a high B. I'll put it, my second slot is B, but I'm kind of, I don't know, man. I'm for real. I don't know. I was so hyped for this movie, and I knew there wasn't enough characters in this movie to base it on the comic book, but
right.
I mean, yo, listen, guys, if you haven't read the comic book, go read that and then come talk to me. That's all I could say.
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying. You can't compare. Like, it's not even the same scope or depth of what.
Yeah,
the only thing in common is the title.
There's so many major things that have, like, the Punisher plays a huge role, and I'm a big time Punisher fan, as you can see behind me. So it's like, man, like there's so many big roles that happen in this story. I mean, and it's kind of that way for me for Infinity War as well, but we'll get into that later. So, I mean, I'll go B, just judging it as a movie.
I don't know who said it, but literally the only thing that's the same as the title. There's no similarities.
There's nothing the same.
Absolutely. And I wish they would have not made it that title because I agree. Civil War's comic is one of the best modern comics.
Absolutely, it's a sick arc, dude.
All right. Moving on to Doctor Strange, and again, guys, we are in this thick of the MCU right here. Like, I'm gonna take Doctor Strange, and I'm gonna put it in A. The first Doctor Strange, after Avengers, before Civil War. I really loved this movie. This is another one that kind of caught me off guard how good it was. I knew it'd be good. I didn't think it would be this good. I really, really enjoyed Doctor Strange. Matt.
Dude, hold on. You got to highlight Haley's comments. I've seen worse fights in airports.
Yeah,
definitely there's been worse fight. Spirit Airlines, 100%.
Yeah. Doctor Strange, I got it at the beginning of B. It might go at the end of A, but it's pretty close to where Gary does. I think I'll leave it right after Civil War. It's tough. I like them for different reasons. Doctor Strange was a really, really good individual movie and origin, but I think we've come to realize how hard it is for them to make these huge crossover movies because they're trying to do it with some of these and they're failing. So movies like Avengers and Civil War, those movies are not easy. Infinity War, Endgame, those movies are not easy to make. So I give a little bit of a bump to Civil War on that.
Fair enough.
Davis.
I agree that this one is super underrated. I might even want to put it higher because I think that it was very different. Everybody before this was just superpowers and having the magic element. They did a really good job with it. The cast was stacked. It was so well, like it's an awesome movie, and I almost want to bump it higher just because I feel like it's a very underrated movie, and I want to like give it its roses. But definitely A, and it might even go higher than where it is right there.
Jay.
I'm going A as well, right behind Avengers, where as it is in my timeline right there. We talk about character development, right? Doctor Strange, they showed him as like a rich, pompous asshole, and it's a character you hated in the beginning of the movie, someone that you're like, yo, this guy's a dick. And then it shows his car accident and him develop and train and turn into Doctor Strange. Definitely my favorite Doctor Strange movie. The effects in it were awesome. I mean, yeah, you're right, Gar. Some of these movies might, what I say was going to fall into my top 8.
Iron Man 3.
Or no,
Or
he's
2.
It may get bumped. But yeah, as far as Doctor Strange, I loved what they did with it, man.
Doctor Strange may have the best, next to Iron Man 1, Doctor Strange may have the best origin story of any.
Yeah, I agree, dude.
Up there.
It was done very, very well.
And the supporting cast. Tilda Swinton and Mads Mikkelsen and like his love interest, and I don't remember the actress's name, but awesome cast.
All right, let's move on. This is where things little bump in the road.
Things are going to get interesting.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I don't know if I'm going to catch hate for it, but as much as I obviously loved Guardians of the Galaxy 1, where I have it literally at my top S favorite movie of the MCU, I'm putting Guardians 2 in the F tier ahead of Iron Man 3. And this I went back and watched it, and man, oh man,
Hated it.
Just wasn't there for me. It wasn't there. And coming off of Guardians 1, I was expecting the world, and I got let down. And that's not, trust me when I say it's not like there weren't good moments of the movie, but man, just a letdown for me. All right, Matt.
I had it at the bottom of C, but you're right. I literally do not. Fuck. You know what? I'm moving it back to C because I really like the ending, which is strange because so many of these movies are good movies and then the ending just sucks, and we're gonna see that come up more often, as we go. This had a good ending that, I liked all the. I gotta give it. It's got to stay in the C just because of the ending and the characters.
Davis.
Yeah, I don't know if it quite goes F for me. I really dislike this movie. F to me is like, I won't watch it. If somebody puts on Guardians 2, I'll sit there and watch it. But I remember being in theaters and being so excited, and the whole time being like,
"This is."
I don't why. Like, what? Someone's not clicking. This movie just isn't it. Like, it's not. I just didn't love it. I think that it's such. I think if the first one wasn't as good as it is, then it would have been a different story. But it's having such a high start and then being what this was. Yeah, I got to put it in low C, and it might bump down to F, but we'll see.
Jay?
Agree to C, man. And that's just comparing it to number 1, which was phenomenal. I mean, it was just bad, dude. It was just bad. I don't want to give it a fucking F because I feel bad giving it an F.
Nah.
You know what I mean? I feel bad giving it an F.
I love James Gunn. I love Guardians. I got to be fair. To me.
Yeah. It's a C for me, man. It's a C at the end. It was disappointing, dude.
Right there is good.
I mean, it's terrible when you find out your mom got banged by a planet, right?
That's a tough break, man. That's a tough break.
It's a tough
Tough
break.
pill to swallow.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. That is rough. All right.
All right. All right. We are going to Spider-Man. What is this? No, Far From
Number
Home?
one.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
Homecoming. I'm going to give this. This is going to go in the B for me. It's actually going to go in the low Bs. My favorite. It's going to go in the low Bs. My favorite part about this movie was Michael Keaton. And I don't think it's close. He's the best part of this movie.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into some arguments, I think, and disagreements when it comes to Spider-Man movies. This one, I'm not sure. I'm putting it at probably the very bottom of C. Yeah, that's where I'm comfortable. Go ahead, Matt.
I gotta put it in A. It's Spider-Man. It's like we've seen so many different iterations of this, and this was still good. Amazing villain, one of the top villains, like you said, Michael Keaton. So you have to allow that to carry this movie up a little higher on the charts. And this story was so good. Like, it was so well written. I mean, of course, there's a million things they could have done differently and better and this and that because it's Spider-Man. And how many things can you do with Spider-Man? It's endless. But it was entertaining. It was super entertaining for a the top character in Marvel, right? And again, it's gone up against Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and you still came in with Tom Holland and you still liked it. That has to tell you, like, if you keep seeing this movie and you're like, this is still really good, it was a good movie.
All right,
So
Matt.
for me,
I moved it because of you to the top of my B, but I'm not putting it in A.
I made my case.
You did. You did a very good job. All right, Davis.
I'm thinking high C,
No
maybe
way.
low B. I just think it's like it's very not forgettable or very not rememberable. It's very forgettable. Michael Keaton, I think, is the best part. I agree. But I think that he's best as Michael Keaton. He's not even the best as Vulture. His Vulture is just fine. He's best when he's being just like the guy Michael Keaton who's just an asshole. And like the twist was cool, but like the end fight was not super cool, and like some of the other stuff was not super cool. I mean, I might go low B, and it might bump down to C because I agree it's a decent start to Spider-Man, but I don't think it's an amazing movie.
All right, Jay.
Oh, you might as well ban me too because I'm going mid-tier C as well.
That's okay.
Again,
All right.
Spidey just I hate Wholesome, right? If I wanted to watch Wholesome, I'd watch the fucking Brady Bunch.
I agree.
I mean, Keaton was a good Vulture, but he was Keaton, right? It was like Bruce Wayne is Vulture to me.
No, see, I don't think so. I think he was a little darker and edgier.
And
he was good when he wasn't in the Vulture suit. He was good just as Michael Keaton being just a bitter guy. You know, like that was the best part.
Better movies to compare it to. Oh, I can't wait for Phase 4 to come out because my fucking F's are gonna. Didn't I fail something or no?
Up?
No F's. Yo, where is it going in C though, Jay? Is it right there?
No, it's probably my high C.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably my high C.
See, we're gonna get into disagreements as the Spider-Man movies go on.
I'm like they
tie
it into Avengers.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm agreeing. Actually, I'm moving it down to high C as well. You had this. Matt had the effect on you, Gary. He had the effect on me. I wanted it to be C, and I kind of felt bad, but I just don't think it's the best start to.
You know what? I have to move it too.
There's not.
Listen,
where I had it.
There's not many great moments in it.
There's not, dude.
It's the only movie. It's the only movie that talks about the effect on Avengers 1 in New York, and I really like that.
I'm not gonna put it in B tier because of one.
I'm saying that was a connection, and we always talk about connecting the movies.
I'm putting it in the back of B. I'm not putting it C tier. It's not leaving B, but we're gonna get into disagreements as the Spideys move on.
You see how I'm on the devil on the shoulder, right? Everyone.
I feel you, dude. I feel you.
I think C is where it should be at.
All right, guys. We might
going.
get some disagree. This might be the first movie that we're going to see a little bit of argument. Maybe not in disagreements, not maybe with us, but definitely the chat. This is one of the first love-hate movies I felt of the MCU. And this is Thor Ragnarok. This, to me, is the best Thor. I don't think it's close. I'm actually gonna and maybe one of the top 2 or 3 villains in the MCU. Hela was a beast. I am going in the A tier, and I'm gonna put it right after Avengers. That's where I'm going with Ragnarok. A tier after Avengers.
Oh, people
Jay's
gonna fucking hate
pissed.
me.
See?
Jay says he got the steam coming out his ears.
Go ahead,
No,
Matt.
that's it.
Same
Now,
place.
my
A
body
right
temperature just rose.
Yeah,
right after Avengers, but you guys convinced me. I'm just gonna bump Spider-Man down to the top of my B. That's it. I mean, you guys made valid points. All right?
A is a little, it's a little aggressive.
You guys made valid
We got
points.
No
You
Way
guys made
Home.
valid points.
Wait. I have Spidey at the back of my B. Okay, go ahead. Look, now Matt, we all turned Matt over.
I'm good.
Spidey. All right. Let's go, Davis. Where do you have Ragnarok?
I got an end of A. I think it's a great movie. I am somewhat in agreement with what I know Jay is going to say, that I think the comical elements land really well, but it's kind of weird for Thor. I think that there's some really good fight. Like basically, there's nothing wrong with the movie. It gets a lot of extra love, I think, for being unexpectedly good. I think that if the first 2 Thor movies were good, this would be just a pretty solid movie. It wouldn't be in everyone's top 5 like it is most of the time. I think this movie gets a lot of extra love because of being unexpectedly good. I think that Thor shouldn't be cracking jokes and shouldn't have the short hair and stuff, but I still think it's a very entertaining movie, and I still have it in my A. But I just know what Jay's going to say, so I'm kind of preemptively agreeing.
Dude, this is the lowest C I got.
Ooh,
This is the first love-hate movie.
And I tell you why. Ragnarok, right? The end of the world, the end of a planet, the end of Asgard, and it's a comedy. Come on, get out of here. I don't like Taika Waititi. I don't like what he did with Thor. The problem that what MCU did with Thor is every movie you get a different Thor. You get a strong Thor, you get a broken Thor, you get a fucking fat stoner, beer drinking Thor. Then you go into Love and Thunder, dude. They mixed in Planet Hulk with it.
They should
it
have
didn't do it for me, dude. Listen, Hela, badass character, right? Yep. Made the whole entire movie. Way too much comedy, dude, for Ragnarok, right? The end is something. It should have been a dark, depressing, fucked up movie. It was a corny comedy that wasn't even really that funny. I mean,
all right, I'm gonna now what you just did, what you and Davis did to me with Spider-Man, I'm gonna try to do with you with Thor. You ready for this? Of all the Thor movies, it had
Jay's
all
mind.
the best fight scenes.
The what?
I said you ain't changing Jay's mind on this one.
Nah, you ain't changing mine. No one's changing my mind.
Of all 4 Thor movies, it had the best fight scenes. Thor vs. Hulk was awesome. And not only that, the ending of Hela versus all 3 of them with the music and the God of Thunder coming down and the lightning and everything. Dude, that was
some really good scenes surrounded by comedy.
So
I
agree with Jay. The title thing, like they need to stop naming these things like Civil War and Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, Jesse, only because it's Ragnarok, it's like the end of everything. And
they called it Thor Planet Hulk. That would have been sick, and it would have been a totally different story because Hulk played Planet Hulk pretty well. He wasn't as mean as he should be, but he wasn't that far off. Thor, the like witty Thor is kind of weird, and I don't know. It was just unexpectedly good. I think people give it a lot of brownie points, but it's still a good movie.
Gary and Davis, who does Matt remind you of in that movie?
Who does what?
Who does Matt Ford remind you of in that movie?
In Thor and Ragnarok?
Yep, come on. Put it in the chat.
Who does he remind you of in that movie? Are you gonna?
Yep.
No.
There's a character in that movie that reminds me exactly of Matt
Matt,
Ford.
do you know who it is?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yep, that's it. Jinmo got it.
The Grand
That's
what I thought he was going to say.
Okay.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
He was great. It's kind of like everybody played their parts well. I agree that it's kind of weird for like a Thor, especially for people that might not have read some Thor, but that is so far from Thor tone. But like if you take that away from it, it's a really good movie. You know what I mean? If you're okay with it being, you know what I mean? It's like there's nothing to complain about in my mind, but
Jay, I don't know. I think you have it a little low. I understand not.
No, I don't.
It's his style. That's his style, though, Gary.
I get his style. Yeah, I don't.
Wait, Gary.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to see a. You know what I mean? I mean, Thor is a broken man. I don't want to see that. If I do see him as a broken man, I definitely don't want to see him playing Xbox and drinking beers. I mean, if you're that depressed, everyone knows you just got to smoke meth and fucking chill in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's in the next Thor movie.
It should be.
Can we do 2 at a time? Because we're never gonna finish.
Yeah. All right. Next 2 is Black Panther and Infinity War. Boy, you picked the 2 to go next to each other. All right. I'm going to take Black Panther and I'm going to put it with all these #1 origins. And I'm probably going to put it here at the very end of B for Black Panther. Oh, yeah. B, Black Panther. Now, Infinity War, we're going back up to the S tier. And I'm going to put it right there at number 3 behind Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. Avengers Infinity War is the best Avengers movie, arguably the best MCU movie. I have no problem if anyone has it at number 1. I have no problem with that.
What happened?
But yeah, that's where I have them. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so my next 2, Davis, we're gonna do 2 at a time so we get through this.
Okay.
Black Panther, I have somewhere in the mid Bs. What's up?
I said we're not that far off. We only got like a handful of movies left.
Yeah, it's 10:30. Black Panther, I have somewhere in the mid Bs. I don't know where it's going to end up. Right after Age of Ultron, it might be before. Somewhere right there. Very, very solid movie. I really enjoyed it. Avengers: Infinity War.
That was another good origin story, by the way. Black
was.
Panther, Doctor Strange, Iron Man 1.
Yep.
Infinity War was amazing. I go back and forth between Civil War and Infinity War. Infinity War, it gets the props. Like if I'm making the case for that, it's because that is such a hard task to pull off and make it good still. The amount of different storylines intersecting and characters that they had in that movie, really amazing. It's like literally splitting hairs between those 2 for my top spot. Yeah, definitely enjoyed it more than Endgame, but we'll get to that next. But it's right there. It's S1 or 2 for me. So
Davis.
All right, Black Panther, I'm going to go front of B. I think it's a great movie. I think that it would probably be A if it wasn't for the last 30 minutes. I think there's some cool fight scenes, the cool origin story, great cast, just a good movie. The end is just a little lackluster. So I think high B. Infinity War is my number 1. Infinity War is the best movie that they've made, in my opinion. I think the storytelling, like I said, there's like a few movies that like the storytelling supersedes it being a superhero movie. And this one, like the plot beats, it moves so fast. It starts off right out the gate strong, and then it just boom, boom, boom. It bounces around to all the characters perfectly. The action sequences are some of the best. Like that whole Wakanda fight scene is some of the best Thor action that you get in the entire MCU. Like it's just basically a perfect superhero movie in my opinion. So that's my number 1.
This is actually, not to cut you off, this is actually out of order because they have Captain Marvel. We should have done Captain Marvel already, but that's okay.
Well,
go ahead,
it's
Jay.
by release date.
I got it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Captain Marvel. Yeah.
All right, Black Panther, Jay.
You know what that's going to be.
Before I get into that, let's talk into Matt washes his hands. I'm gonna tell you guys the trick. The trick is you gotta wash your hands before you pee, so you don't touch your parts with dirty hands. Right? That's the smart thing to do. But besides that,
then you got to touch the thing when you flush the toilet, and that's got germs all over it.
Yeah, but at least but you're not touching your shit with that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you're gonna go touch everything else with the hand that just touched the toilet.
No, you wash your hands again.
You wash your hands twice. No, Jay's not washing his hands twice. That's not what he's saying.
No way. You wash it first and fuck everybody else that you touch afterwards.
That's why we wash our hands, because of you. People like you.
Pretty much.
There's always a J. There's always going to be
always a J.
But that's besides the point. Guys, if you want to be really clean, I'm a neat freak. You wash your hands before you pee.
Could do it both times. That's all I'm saying.
You could. Then you'd be wasting water, though. But anyway.
Black Panther.
What movie we talking about? Oh, Black Panther. High B for me. Great movie. Loved Killmonger. My favorite part of the whole movie. I agree with Davis. The ending was a little lackluster, but great origin story. Great movie. High B for me. Right there. The highest B for me. Infinity War. That's going to be an A for me, right behind Avengers. Again, guys. Man. It's not an S only because, like I said, and I keep beating this fucking dead horse, as a comic book reader, it's just so far off from the actual story. I mean, you should have brought Adam Warlock in for Infinity War. He was the biggest part of the Infinity War Gauntlet story. A lot of different changes, but I get it, right? So it's gonna be an A for me.
I think can I add though that out of all of these titles that they've used that weren't correct, this was probably the closest. All the wrongly used titles.
Yeah.
All the wrongly used titles, this is probably the closest.
I mean,
it is. I could agree with that.
Infinity Gauntlet, a cosmic story for the most part.
Yeah, like it's like with the snap and everything. Like it's got a lot of those elements. It's definitely got the wrong cast and it's got the wrong location and the wrong reason for him wanting to do it. It would have been the right villain in death, but
got the right villain.
Dude, if Nebula would have took that Infinity Gauntlet off Thanos, fucking shocker. But whatever, it is what it is. Right?
We're gonna hop over to me. Before we do Endgame and Spider-Man, we have to hop over here to Ant-Man, Wasp, and Captain Marvel because they had them out of order here. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go Ant-Man and the Wasp, probably back a C, and I'm going to take Captain Marvel, and I might get some hate for this. I didn't think Captain Marvel was as bad as some people think, but I'm also going to put it in C.
It was
probably right there. Right between Dark World and Ant-Man Wasp. All right, Matt, do those before you do
Ant-Man Wasp, Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
All right, that's easy. Ant-Man Wasp is the end of the C's, and Captain Marvel is the start of the F's.
All right, Davis.
There's not much to say about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
There's one thing you could say.
Hated it.
Exactly.
I think that these movies. I think I'm reserving F for I don't want to really watch it, and I think that Captain Marvel was pretty forgettable, pretty boring, but it did have some cool action. There was some decent action sequences, and the CGI was pretty cool, and there's some decent. I mean, it was pretty not great, but it also wasn't F to me. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp was also a big step down from Ant-Man #1, similar to Guardians 1 to Guardians 2. So I think Ant-Man 2 definitely kind of faltered. So it's
all right, Jay.
I'm gonna right here.
So what am I doing? 3 movies now?
No, you're doing Ant-Man
and Captain Marvel.
All right, Ant-Man goes to the bottom of my C's. Right? Only because Paul Rudd's still Paul Rudd, and yep, you could put Captain Marvel right there. This is what I hate about the MCU. Captain Marvel could have been a C for me if they showed Brie Larson's butt cheeks like they did Helmsworth and Thor: Love and Thunder. That could have made that movie for me, dude, but it didn't. You know what I mean? I don't get it, dude.
I mean, he's wrong.
But
you show bare man ass, but not bare Brie ass.
But as a counterpoint, they have her in a tank top in the Marvels trailer, and people are like, they're trying to show Brie Larson's boobs off to get people, and she's wearing a tank top. It's you guys are
good. That's the only reason I would watch that movie.
Mad that she's wearing a tank top.
People are
gonna freak out. They're leaning. It's Brie Larson is a good actress, and I think that she was a good Captain Marvel with really bad writing. But I think she was pretty cool in Infinity War.
Yeah, listen, she was badass in Infinity War and in Endgame, badass.
That's what I'm saying.
We talk about it.
Could have been cool. Just poorly written movies.
We talk about equality, right? Especially in Disney and the MCU. I have yet to see a bare woman ass. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you can also see bare man ass on Instagram, but you can't see bare woman ass on Instagram. That's just the way of the world.
Fucked up.
With that, let's go to the next two.
I don't even know what to say right now.
We have
actually, I do know what to say, but
Endgame and Far From Home. I'm gonna take Endgame. I don't even know how I feel about Endgame. It was the last 45 minutes were maybe the best 45 minutes of the MCU, but that was a long movie. I'm probably gonna stick Endgame after Ragnarok, but before Doctor Strange in A. And Spider-Man, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I think this Spider-Man with Mysterio was actually better than the first one.
I agree.
By one knot, right there, just right next to each other. All right, Matt.
Endgame, I have right after the first Avengers. Endgame was, if it wasn't they didn't do a great job. The 2-parter, it just didn't flow well for me until the end. Like you said,
right.
The ending was amazing, crazy. The ending saved it, or else this would probably be a B for me. it was a huge task to tackle. So I'm trying to be like not too harsh on it, but it's in the A's for me right after Avengers. Yeah, higher highs than Avengers 1, but lower lows as well.
Oh yeah.
So to me, that's what it was. And then Far From Home, I did not really. I liked it, but I like Spider-Man 1 better. I didn't like what they did with Mysterio, like the whole thing of him with the fake shit. I don't know. It just didn't jive for me. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I couldn't connect with it. It just didn't do anything for me.
I'm gonna get yelled at for this one. I think it's better than Avengers 1. But here's the thing. I think I look at Infinity War and Endgame like one movie, and I love Infinity War so much that it feels like the first bit of it feels like the kind of middle part of the movie where it lags a little bit, but the end is what ended the MCU and like that didn't end the MCU.
Ah, you just stole my shit. That's exactly what I was about to say, dude.
It's where it peaked. It's where the MCU peaked. That whole last hour, which is like a third of the movie, is so much better than basically the rest of the MCU. That whole fight is like perfect. It does everything. It ties every knot. It has such a high.
Here's the moment that they screwed up in that movie. They should have never had Captain Marvel stop Thanos from snapping.
True. 100%.
They should have had the angry Hulk come out and stop the snap, not Captain Marvel.
A lot of people come and stop it.
I'm telling you right now, if Thanos went to snap and you saw a green hand grab it and the camera panned to an angry Hulk and not the stupid Professor Hulk, and he started just beating on Thanos, and Thanos had to pull the Power Stone to take out Hulk, that's a better ending.
You really think that the Hulk is a true fight for Thanos with multiple Infinity Stones?
All he had to do was stop the glove from closing.
I don't know. The Hulk is really powerful, but with the Infinity Gauntlet and all the stones,
there is no freaking way.
The Hulk is not stopping Thanos with a gauntlet and all the stones.
That ending.
But why is Captain Marvel?
He whooped his ass with no Infinity Stones.
Yeah, he caught him off guard.
My question is,
why is Captain Marvel stopping him? And then just laid him in the ground. I don't know. All I'm saying is that the Hulk, that would have been cool as redemption, but I would have been like, where has this Hulk been? Since when can Hulk stop Thanos with all the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet after he just did everything he did?
But he had the Gauntlet, but he couldn't activate. If Hulk grabs his fist the way Captain Marvel did,
that's
he
what I'm
wouldn't
saying.
have activated any stones.
Listen, all I'm saying is that's why Infinity War fight to me was better, because Captain Marvel comes in and literally saves the day and then also stops Thanos.
But
she destroys the ship, stops Thanos.
We've already seen Hulk with where he's at. Hulk's already gotten smoked by Thor. So
yeah, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you with Hulk, but the Captain Marvel thing, like, I would have liked, give me Scarlet Witch to save the day over fucking Captain Marvel. She was there for a cup of coffee, and all of a sudden, she literally saves the whole fucking day. I didn't like that, and it ain't because it's her or a woman. I would have been okay with Scarlet Witch doing that, but the way they did that, to have her break the fucking ship, stop the glove where nobody else could. It just was, to me, it was forced. It was stupid. It was bad writing. It could have been done a million different ways better.
My counterpoint is that we got to look at power scaling where they were currently at in the MCU. Scarlet Witch was not that strong at that point. We've already seen Hulk get blown away by Thor and Ragnarok. I won't say blown away, but beat by Thor. And you know, like, Thanos just beat Thor right before this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the Captain Marvel scale.
Captain Marvel, we already know Captain Marvel's that strong because right before that she blew through the ship. So they've already.
Yeah, but no, that's not established. They all did it. That was all within 5 minutes. The power scale was set in a literal 5 minute span. The power scale was
set with that because we don't.
We are going blows here, my friend. You had a nerfed Thor. That's how Thanos beat Thor. He was nerfed like crazy.
Yeah,
he was fat and hung over. So Thanos never went toe-to-toe with the God of Thunder.
Peak Thor,
Instead, he shows up on the ship that we never see after Thor just went to blows with every, he fought. He takes the Power Stone and he beats Thor, right? Did he have the Power Stone? He did. He beat Thor with the Power Stone.
So
That's how
you're telling me that Hulk, like he can beat Thor with one stone, but then Hulk can stop him with all 5 stones?
But he wouldn't have activated the stone. If
Right,
Thor,
right.
if
It's just
Thor
closing the hand.
grabs the gauntlet,
I love the idea of Hulk stopping him. I just don't think that that's within Hulk's capability at that time, especially after not being able to be Hulk for however long he was. He can just randomly become Hulk, and he's strong enough to stop Thanos.
yes,
That's all I'm saying. That's
they
all I'm saying.
all got redemption.
I think
gonna
Brie Larson was cool as Captain Marvel in this movie. I think that they showed her being badass, and we knew that was going to happen. I think Hulk was not very strong at this point. Thor was not very strong at this point. Like, you can't just make a character out of nowhere strong just because it'd be really cool.
Professor
Hulk that jump, you know?
Angry Hulk is stronger than Professor Hulk.
Yeah, but even the angriest Hulk that we've seen has gotten beat by normal Thor. So I don't think that's strong. I don't think that power scale is enough for him to stop Thanos with the gauntlet.
Angry Hulk got beat by Thor, who was realizing he was the god of thunder. His power was coming out in Ragnarok. He released it.
That was like peak Hulk in the MCU. That was Hulk who was running a planet, basically. He was unstoppable.
I can't. You also had Thor in Infinity War breaking all the ships too, flying through with Stormbreaker.
Sure.
I gotta hear Jay. I gotta hear Jay clean this up.
At this point. Yeah, Jay, what do you think?
I gotta hear Jay clean this up.
Wait, what are we talking about again?
In general, what's your thoughts on all of this? What's your thoughts on all of this?
I put it, dude. I'm with Davis. I put it at A, above Avengers 1. I think the best thing that could have happened to that movie is fuck the Hulk. He needed therapy after his beating, right? Out of the question for him to have a redemption story in that. He was totally defeated mentally and physically. I think the best, what they should have done, that's when Adam Warlock comes in. That's when you introduce. That's when you introduce Warlock.
I agree.
And he comes in and he does his shit, and then you get back into you get back into everything else. But I give it that my strongest A, because you got Tony Stark dying. Like Davis said 20 minutes ago, it was the end. For me, it was the end of the MCU right there. Everything was downhill from there. I love the battle scene. That's it. We can move on to the next. We took like 20 minutes talking about this shit.
To Jimmy's point, real quick, he said Thor wasn't nerfed. He had 2 hammers. He had 2 hammers, and he got beat up by Thanos.
Thor was nerfed.
And yeah, he's not as strong as Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel did stop Thanos. We saw it. We can't be arguing about what we saw. We know what happened. We're not arguing about.
I think the point is the fact that that's the way they wrote it. We're pissed. We're mad with the way they wrote it. We're not questioning once they wrote it what the power scale was. The problem is with the writing originated.
The power scale is Thor with two hammers got beat by Thanos. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, because that's the way they wrote it.
Sure.
So I mean, I think that people are saying that the writing was not good.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get
Jay,
it. But
Jay, where are you putting Spider-Man?
Oh, I don't think I.
That's a B for me. I loved Mysterio, dude. I thought Mysterio was dope. I'm gonna put it right after Civil War. Actually,
I didn't do my.
This was my favorite Spider-Man movie by far.
This was good, man.
Yep.
I'm also going B for that movie. I forgot to do this one. I'm gonna go pretty high on this one. I think that I'm gonna go here. And yeah, I think Mysterio was dope. I think that it was a fun movie. I think it was better than the first one for sure.
Yep, 100%.
All right.
What's next?
Here we go. 2 at a time. We're gonna skip all the TV shows and go to Black Widow.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put Black Widow in C, and I think I have to put it before Captain Marvel and after Thor. And then for Shang-Chi, I'm actually going to put the ending ruined this damn movie for me. I'm going to put this in the front of C. No, end of B, because this movie had some of the best fight scenes to me and had the stupidest ending maybe in the MCU when dragons and the girl, the friend, I forgot her name. All of a sudden, after 15 minutes using a bow and arrow, she turns into Legolas from Lord of the Rings. I can't understand that. Hated that. So I'm going to put it at the very end of B. This could have been, in my opinion, like a top B movie. This was really good until the ending. Just absolutely killed me. Absolutely killed me. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I got Black Widow in C right before Guardians because, chicks. And I got Shang-Chi
I love it, Matt.
towards the beginning of C. It would have definitely been in the B's for me, but the ending was there. I mean, Gary and I are pretty much in agreement on this. We've talked about this a million times on the phone. It had so much potential. Some of the best fight scenes in the MCU. Choreographed. I mean, the bus scene with what's his name? Razor Fist was amazing, and then the end was just absolutely garbage. So,
All right.
Dave.
So we're gonna argue here on this one too. I'm gonna go B on Black Widow, and I'm gonna go B on Shang-Chi behind it. Because here's the thing: exactly what you guys just said. The end is what ruined Shang-Chi. The end is what ruined Black Widow. Everyone was pissed about the reveal at the end of Black Widow, but before their end, Taskmaster was cool. The fight scene on the bridge was cool. The prison scene with Red Guardian was sick. Yelena was awesome. There were so many cool moments. Basically, the entire 2/3 beginning of the movie was awesome. Red Guardian was great. The family aspect was great. Iron Maiden wasn't that great. Yelena was amazing. So many cool fight sequences. And then as soon as they got into the sky and that thing and you had the reveal,
terrible.
That ruined it. Same thing with Shang-Chi. But I like Yelena and I care about Natasha more than I care about anybody in Shang-Chi because I actually already knew, Natasha. So I'm caring more for the characters in Black Widow because of the history of Black Widow than I am in Shang-Chi. I think they both have the same amount of good and the same amount of bad. So I think Black Widow is a little better. I think they're both very end of B, but I think they're about the same quality.
I'm going to keep Black Widow in C, and I'm going to move it between Hulk and Iron Man 2.
Black Widow.
I don't disagree with
the
I don't
end is
disagree
bad.
with what
There's
you're saying.
so many bad endings to so many Marvel movies.
Yeah, but Davis,
100%
Shang-Chi's movie was better than Black Widow. Like, the fight
disagree.
scenes were better.
I disagree.
I don't know, man. You got to go back and watch it.
Red Guardian was so good in that movie. Red Guardian was awesome. Yelena was awesome. There was a bunch of cool fight sequences. That bridge scene with Taskmaster versus Natasha was sick. There was awesome scenes.
Dude, the bus fight
was
scene,
badass.
the scaffolding fight scene. Are you kidding me? That was
dope.
amazing. Go ahead, Jay. You're up.
I'm with Davis. I'm putting Black Widow. I like Black Widow, dude. I thought it was a dope origin story. You get Scarlett Johansson in a whole movie, dude. You get Pew in a whole movie. Midsummer was awesome. I'm a fan after that. Whatever she did,
dude.
that was a sick movie.
I'm a big Florence Pugh fan.
I loved it. I loved the development of how when they were young and they grew up together and how basically, I'm a big origin guy. I thought they did it well. I didn't like how they did Taskmaster, but it is what it is. Like Davis said, the fight scenes were dope. Loved Red Guardian, so I'll put it C. I'm gonna put it mid C, dude. I'm gonna put it right after Hulk and before Iron Man 2.
Okay.
And then what was the second one we were talking about?
Jay, we're right in that same window now. Same.
Yeah, what was the second movie?
Shang-Chi.
Yo, so Shang-Chi, right? When I see it in the theaters, I hate it. When I hate going to the movies. I hate being next to people I don't know. So that's a big deterrent for me. When I watched it at home, I enjoyed it a lot more. I thought it was going to be more. If they did more of like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type of kung fu movie, like old school kung fu movie, it would have been that much better for me. I'm going to put it in as a C. If you're going to bring a dragon in, you might as well bring in Fin Fang Foom, which they didn't. They didn't even allude to him. Awkwafina made the movie for me. I know you guys hated on her, and I get it. We could put that right before Ragnarok.
Okay,
Yep.
you're over as well. All right, at least we're on the same.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought the bus scene in Shang-Chi was dope. I thought it was going to be like that the whole movie. I get it. This chick picks up a bow. All of a sudden, she's slaying shit. But Awkwafina did make that movie for me. I thought she was funny. I thought she was a great character. So that's where I have it.
All
right. Next two movies is when we're going to start having some more debates here. Eternals is probably between Eternals and Ragnarok. These are the two movies to me that are the two most love-hate movies in the MCU. I personally enjoyed Eternals. I am going to bring Eternals up to the top of tier B. I really liked Eternals.
Oof, that's hot, dude.
I liked Eternals. It's right in the middle. Eternals is like almost right in the middle, right here. A little above middle. Then this is the next one where we're definitely going to get in disagreements. This is Spider-Man No Way Home. I really enjoyed this movie, and I have to put this probably at the end of A. because I loved seeing Tobey Maguire. I loved seeing all the villains. But one of the biggest parts of this movie that really, really, really got to me was the brutality of the fight between Green Goblin and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
My man got power bombed through a floor of the building, and it was just brutal. I just really liked it.
Yeah, that shit was
And I mean, we got some good moments. We got some really good moments. I know, Jay, you're gonna rip this movie, but that's all right. That's where I am. All right, Matt.
Okay, so Eternals, I thought was one of the better just movies. Like, take the superhero out of it. It was a really good movie. I think it gets more hate. It was written well. It was a good story. The characters were done well. The character development, like it's a movie. Like, it's a textbook movie. Remove it from the MCU, and you like people that didn't like it probably do like it. It didn't really have like this glaring flaw like we just talked about Shang-Chi and Black Widow. We're talking about Phase 4. It didn't have that glaring flaw. It sucks that we didn't get to push anything forward from it. It feels like disconnected from the MCU. That's the biggest complaint for me. I have it right in the middle of the B's. I'm not sure where it lies. It's probably right here, right after Age of Ultron. Spider-Man Far From No Way Home. I have it at the end of B's. I think, like Gary said, the fights and the fight with Green Goblin really did it for me. That's what made me enjoy it. The ending was amazing, but it was kind of goofy in the beginning, and they relied too much on nostalgia, which is why I have it a little bit lower probably than the most of you guys.
Definitely a lot of flaws. I didn't like Ned being able to use magic.
Yeah.
But I loved the way this movie ended to set up the Spider-Man that we're used to.
Yeah.
That's all. All right, Davis.
All right. Yeah, I agree on Eternals. I think that it had a lot of, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to leave it after Black Panther. I think that it had a lot of good story building. I think this is a movie that I don't really know why people decided to hate this movie. And like this one, I think definitely had a snowball effect. It's probably the best speedster superhero movement in any movie. It's got, I mean, you got Selma Hayek and Angelina Jolie, like stacked casts. You got the return of the Thrones brothers. Like, it's just a good movie, and it was a little long and had its little issues and stuff. But I still don't really know I don't really to this day even understand what the hate is on Eternals. So I got that in B, and then I'm gonna say back A because of the nostalgia, but I'm also fully admitting that it is not a great movie. It's like the nostalgia wins me over because I'm a sucker for fan service. But if you didn't see the other Spider-Man movies, it's a pretty bad movie. It is, but it's got some really cool fight scenes. The Doctor Strange versus Spider-Man, like on the train and stuff, that was all really cool. Like, it's got some really cool fight scenes and stuff. But yeah, without the nostalgia, it's pretty rough. But because of the nostalgia, it's A for me.
All right, so Eternals, I'm going mid-C's. It was a good standalone movie, right? Which you barely see in the MCU anymore. For some reason, everything has to tie into one another, which I totally disagree with. I think you do great standalone movies that all don't have to be intertwined at some point, because I feel that's when things get fucked up. Love Kid Harington. I thought it was a good movie to watch. I'll watch it anytime it's on TV, right? Spider-Man. That's a fucking F for me, dude. Wow. I don't want to see it. And the reason I say this is because there's so many dope Spider-Man storylines you could go with, and I think the multiverse thing is a very lazy kind of way out in the MCU. I don't want to see 3 Spider-Mans. Give me 3 dope villains at once. Don't give me that shit. Them hugging each other and cracking each other's backs didn't do it for me. I didn't like it at all. They could have went in so many different directions. Just wasn't for me. It's a fucking fail.
Hated it.
Absolutely.
I don't disagree. I get
Jamie
what
Foxx got his redemption.
Yeah.
Right? Do you agree with that? He was at least way better in this.
Wait, in which one? Oh, yeah, Garfield?
What?
What did you just say? Who got redemption?
Jamie Foxx.
Oh, Jamie
Oh,
Foxx. I thought you were talking
Jamie
about-
Foxx got redemption.
Yeah, he
I don't
did,
know if
right?
he did. I don't know if he did.
Really?
know
I
if he
didn't
did
even
either.
think of this movie.
He was just cooler. That's, I mean, if that's what
I
you're
mean,
calling
yeah, but
redemption.
he was really bad last time we saw him. So him even being cool in general was a big step up.
Fuck that, dude. That movie was lazy writing and just
Fuck
was
that.
to get all that was is a stunt to get
He's-
people into the
Jay's
theaters
Yeah.
to see all three Spider-Man at once. That shit
I'm
was
gonna-
I just
garbage,
lowered
dude.
it. I
I
just
have to
lowered
give
it.
Jay a
Fuck
lot
out
of
of my face.
credit. Jay has not wavered on this movie since the day it came out. He
That
has
was
not
garbage,
budged.
dude.
He's
Lazy.
not moved.
That was
I get
all hype. All that movie was get people in the theaters to see all three Spider-Mans. Fuck that.
I agree.
Lazy.
I agree. And I was eating popcorn and happy the whole time. I agree. with that.
I did too, but I'm a
I wanna
sucker for
add-
nostalgia as well.
I was just talking about this the other day. I want to add that there's not really a good, outside of being a fun superhero movie, there's not a great Spider-Man movie. They're all pretty bad movies.
Yeah,
Like when you
absolutely.
look at like Dark Knight as like a good movie that's a superhero movie, and you look at Spider-Man movies, besides Spider-Man 1 and 2, which are pretty good, the rest are all like pretty not great made movies, right? Like
Can I tell you why? It's the same thing with Superman. It's just too wholesome of a character. No one relates to
what about the
good
first Toby one? The first and
good
second
people.
Tobey
And
one.
the what?
The first and second Toby ones. Do you think those were pretty close?
I
to
like
Dude,
it.
my favorite Spider-Man was Spider-Man 2 with Tobey
Everyone
Maguire.
loved Spider-Man 2.
That was the best one,
Yeah.
dude.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. We MCU, Disney, Marvel, they're going through their issues. Watch what happens if James Gunn makes a really good Superman movie. Watch
I
what
like
happens.
Man of Steel for what it's worth.
Man of Steel was good.
Man of
Here
Steel
we go. We're moving on.
All right.
These
What's
two are
next
going to be
here?
fun. Yeah. Multiverse of
Doctor
Madness.
Strange. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Phase 4 was the phase of disappointments and
Yeah.
missed opportunities. And this movie may have been the biggest missed opportunity in phase 4 because they could have done so much.
The MCU.
This is going to go somewhere in C. And I think I'm going to put it behind Black. Man, I got to put it back here. I'm going to put it after Thor, before Captain Marvel, because I wanted so much more out of this movie and they didn't give me anything. Love and Thunder, worst movie in the MCU, Davis Ryder. Just so you know that. Let's go, Maddie Forge.
All right. I like that. So I made a couple adjustments. I moved No Way Home down because Jay's 100% right. And honestly, I moved it higher because I thought everyone was going to. I felt peer pressure, but I just, Jay's 100% right. It just was lazy. There was just, it could have been so much better. So I moved it down below Far From Home. And then I moved.
Ready
like,
for
I honestly, it was just, I'm gonna be honest, it was such a bad viewing experience in a theater for me, so it was hard for me to grade because I had people literally yelling behind me. Like I couldn't even, the second half of the movie, I couldn't even hear what was happening, so I couldn't really judge it. I had to watch it at home. It wasn't the same, so I'm moving it down 2 spots. It wasn't a huge jump. I said I would move my Iron Man up to the S, and it did. It made its way into the end of S. Multiverse of Madness, me and Gary had this conversation a million times. So many missed opportunities. It was so disappointing. When it leaked, the what do they call it? The Illuminati scene leaked online. I thought it was a parody when I watched it. I was like, this is a joke. This can't be really what they did in the movie. And then they actually did that, and I was like, they really thought this was a good idea. That whole scene was so bad. It had some horror aspects. The fact that it had the name drop of Cthulhu and our whole thing with that on Gary's channel gives me a little bump to it because I like that aspect of it. I wish they would have drawn that out a little bit. I bump it up a little bit higher, right above Shang-Chi. Thor: Love and Thunder, worst movie in the MCU. F. Done.
Worst movie in the MCU, huh?
Done.
Of course, he leaves right before you got to switch it over to me.
Gone.
All right. Well, then I'll just We're gonna switch.
Wait,
it over.
did you put Love and Thunder in the F?
Yeah, worst movie in the MCU. Gone.
Oh, wow.
Done.
I'm down to fight. All right.
Let's go.
Switch it over to me.
We only have 2 movies left, so this is it right here.
3.
Well, 2.5, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, 4. What are we talking about? There's 4 movies left.
Are there?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've only seen 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Switch to
Yep.
Davis.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Switch to Davis.
Oh, sorry.
Worst movie in the MCU for me. I can't stand
Multiverse of Madness, the worst movie?
I can't stand this movie, man. I think, and I will say I'm definitely biased because of how high the expectations were. But like, they definitely made it like, first of all, they moved the director from the director of the first one, which was Scott Derrickson, who was a horror director. He did Sinister, if I remember correctly, before Doctor Strange.
That was a good movie. Sinister's such a dope movie, dude.
It is. And he obviously wanted to do horror stuff with Doctor Strange, and they probably told him that he was going to be able to, and then they didn't let him actually do it. And that's why he left. And then they gave it to Sam Raimi, who didn't know he just came in and just made a weird movie with like, you had the reins to do anything you wanted, and you did none of it. You made a new versions of all the Illuminati. You could have just got back homie that played original Reed Richards. Like, why not just do that? Why? I like what's his face, Jim from The Office. Like, I don't think he was bad. I just think that it was a corny movie. I think that it had almost no redeeming qualities, and I was like, what? Like, the jokes didn't land. America Chavez was bad. It was just it's a movie that's not only bad but also missed every mark and missed every expectation that it set. This one, I'm gonna still put it in C.
Oh my god!
And here's the thing:
did you trip to put it in C? Like, did your mouse?
No, I put it there. Here's the thing: I was well aware that I'm gonna go ahead and say that God of Thunder is my favorite comic book run of all time. I think it's my favorite read of all time in comic books. I think which is
why you should put this in F.
And that's why absolutely. I knew they were not going to do it well. I knew, just like they didn't do Civil War right, they didn't do half of this shit right. I knew they weren't going to do it right. I think that it had some cool fight sequences. I think that if you're going to talk about comedy in Ragnarok, there were some jokes that landed. I think that there was a lot of really bad moments. I am not saying, I mean, look, it's at the very back of C. I'm not saying it's a good movie, right? But I'm saying that it has some decently entertaining parts and it has some bad parts. I think that the movies in F have mostly bad parts. So even if it barely edges them out, I think it's got some cool stuff. I think the whole, like, I don't know. I think there's some fun scenes in it that people want to look at it as being the worst thing in the world. So they just decide it's going to be, whatever. And they won't take the good moments as good. They'll only take all the moments as bad.
Davis, you've had a lot of the chat with you against their better judgment to previous experiences. They were with you for most of tonight. You lost all of them.
Jane Foster was cool.
You lost them all.
I'm just saying that I think that I knew it wasn't going to be as good a movie. I think people had too high of hopes for this movie. I think that I knew that it was going to be what it was. So while I was watching it, I got exactly what I expected because I had my expectations set correctly. Whereas at Doctor Strange, I had my expectations all the way up here where they should have been, and it was down here. My Love and Thunder expectations were set here, and it was like here. So I was fine with it. That's all. And I'm fully admitting that I know that most people won't agree with me there, and I'm fine with that. So at least I'm admitting that I'm not saying everyone gives it like I am with Age of Ultron, where I think it gets a bad rap. I don't think this gets a bad rap. I just think that everybody had too high expectations for it.
I just want to let Jay cook. I didn't say anything about Thor: Love and Thunder just so I could hear Jay say it. That's all.
First, what comes first on the rankings? You got to do Multiverse of Madness, Jay. Then
and then have fun.
Love and Thunder.
And then you get to play.
Yo, fuck, both of those movies get an F, bro. And we'll start with Doctor Strange. There's no way Scarlett's beating that Illuminati crew. They did Black Bolt wrong. They did Reed wrong. They did everybody in that Illuminati wrong. Yeah. That was some woke fucking garbage shit, dude. I fucking hated that movie, but I hated Love and Thunder even worse. Reading that story arc with Gore was such, like Davis said, one of my favorite story arcs of all time. Jason Aaron absolutely killed that run.
Yeah,
agreed. I had a conversation at Terrificon with the illustrator of that comic, Assad Ribic. Assad Ribic hated that movie. He said it was absolute trash, which it was, dude. The first 5 minutes when you see Gore with his dehydrated family, I'm like, oh, here we go. This is going to be comic book accurate. When you see in the trailer, you knew it was going to be comic book accurate. It was trash, dude. Once that scene ended and it hopped into him killing the first god, I knew it was going to be terrible. And I hate to say this, it reminded me of an episode of Goosebumps or fucking Are You Afraid of the Dark? And the reason I hate saying that is because I loved those shows as a kid.
Me too.
When you see Gore on back of that school bus, he looks like he should be on a fucking sex offender registry. It was absolutely garbage, dude.
Garbage.
Fuck both of those movies. Everything after Endgame was garbage for me. You might throw everything in the F pile for me from here on
Not
out.
yet. You have one big
There's
one.
Yeah.
You have one. You'll get to it. So Jay puts both those movies. You think those movies were worse than Captain Marvel to you? Like, is that right?
Absolutely, dude. That whole
Okay.
multiverse shit for Feige is just a lazy, cheap, garbage way out of the bullshit he was putting out before that. And that's just my opinion, and it's the
feel
fucking
you.
truth.
All right. I'll go now after that. All right. Next movie up is Wakanda Forever. Definitely not as good as Black Panther. I think they did Namor wrong in this movie. I'm actually going to put this kind of low. I do think it was better than Multiverse of Madness and Captain Marvel and Ant-Man. I do think it was better than Thor. I did like Namor. So I'm going to keep moving this up a little bit more. I'm going to go here, right there, between Black Widow and Iron Man 2, because I liked Namor. I just didn't like what they did to Namor. Then Quantumania. I think Quantumania gets way too much hate. I thought Kang was badass. Talking about endings. So I'm going to put Quantumania probably in the beginning of C. Top C movie for me. All right, Matt.
All right, I got to run, so I'm just going to do the last three real quick.
All right.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Again, tale of two halves. Good beginning. It was probably good 3/4 of the movie. The ending was absolute garbage. Shuri has the Black Panther suit for like a half a day, and then gets stabbed in the midsection and somehow beats Namor, the 1,000-year-old warrior. So fuck that movie, because it makes no sense. All of a sudden, Iron Man's replaced in like half a movie again.
Oh, I forgot about Riri.
You know, Riri was... I actually liked
gotta
the
move it down.
character.
I don't like Riri.
I liked the character. I liked where it started. She had like a junk Iron Man, and all of a sudden at the end, she literally had a more advanced Iron Man suit. Just the way they did that was so stupid. I think they disrupted what they could have done with her movie, her show, which could have been dope, and they ruined it, right? Because you literally got to the end. You literally gave her what could have happened in the show in this movie. So stupid. The tears were there at the beginning for Chadwick, so it goes a little higher. It's in the high C's for me, but just it could have been so much better.
Could have been so much better.
Quantumanium, again, tale of two halves. Dope beginning. Kang was awesome. He gets beat by ants. I don't know what we're doing here. Like, what is the MCU doing? I have no idea. I still probably better than the second Ant-Man, just because of how good Kang was up until the end. But he literally gets beat by insects. Like, it was foreshadowing. We saw him running from a chick in New York City. That's why he got beat by ants. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here with some of these movies. It's just fucking crazy. And then we get to Guardians of the Galaxy. I know you can get to talk about this, Gary, but I got to run.
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was really good. And it literally was like a diamond in a pile of turds for phase 4 and 5. It is an A tier for me. It is right here with Guardians 1, Avengers. You can interchange any three of these. I'm still going to put it below Guardians 1 because of the shock factor of how good Guardians 1 was when we weren't expecting it. But Guardians 3 was better the second time I watched it, and I loved it the first time I watched it. A really good movie. James Gunn killed it. He put a bow on this thing. I don't know if it could have got any better than what he did. That's all I got. I'm going to get out of here. So,
all right, Matt. Well,
Matty
thank you so
Forge.
much, Matt. We only have another 15 minutes, if that, and we're going to be out of here, too. Matt,
guys are
thanks
the
for
best.
hanging out for a couple
Thank you,
hours.
guys. Thank you, chat. We'll talk soon. Later, boys.
See ya.
All right.
All right.
Should I just do all three as well?
Yeah,
Let's
and then
go.
I'll just end with Guardians, because none of us saw the Marvels, correct?
No. I didn't see
No.
the Marvels. Not
All right.
yet. All right. So Wakanda Forever, I think that I like it a little more than some people, but I still think that it's like, I think that I liked it about here. And I mean, I've only seen it the one time, you know what I mean? And I'm not a huge Namor fan prior to this. So like, The ending was kind of whatever, but like, yeah, I still think it was a fun movie. I don't think it's quite C. I don't think it's actually, nah, I don't even know if that's where it should be, to be honest. I'm just going to put it there because, I've only seen it the one time. I also want to real quick. We just talked about this on the phone. Some people saying Kevin Feige should be fired. And we had just talked about this. So like our 2 cents was like, got to keep in mind that Kevin Feige gave us all of this before the last few years. So I think that he just had some other people giving him some bad ideas, or maybe he got a little off track, but he gave us a lot of good fucking movies and a lot of good years. So Quantumania, I'm gonna put Real High Seas. Maybe it goes, yeah, I think I'm fine with that. I think that I like Quantumania a little bit more than a lot of people. I think the ending is pretty rough, and I don't even think C is necessarily bad. Like High C, I think High C is fine. And then Guardians 3 is my number 2. I saw this movie 3 times in theaters, and every time I liked it more and more and more. And I think this is another really well-told story, the most emotional, in the MCU by far. They made you like care so much about Rocket, like, and everybody liked Rocket, but like they made you like care, like you were like invested in that shit. And it was such a well-paced, well done, really good villain who was like terrifying. They went darker than I think they should have gone, in a good, like, or than I thought they would go. Pretty violent. Like, yeah, this one has, I didn't think that anything in the later MCU would take my S tiers and especially beat Winter Soldier. But again, I saw it 3 times in theaters, and every time I was like, God damn, what a good movie. So yeah, it's my number 2.
All right, Jay.
All right, Black Panther, I'm going to give a high C. I enjoyed the movie up until the end. I thought they did Namor right. Just like Matt said, I don't like how Shuri is Black Panther for 2 weeks and then beats a 1,000-year-old warrior. On top of that, I don't like how he swims his ass back home and then just tells people he may have fought the greatest warrior he ever battled.
Yeah, that line.
That was fucking total bullshit for me personally. The tribute to Chadwick Boseman was awesome, dude. I mean, but that just killed it for me. That's like, come on, stop it now. What was the second movie?
Quantumania.
Quantumania, I'm gonna give a low B, my lowest B. And the reason I say this is for a couple of reasons. The first being Kang, right? Kang stole the show for me.
Yeah.
What I didn't like is how Ant-Man beats Kang at the end. I think a dope ending for that would have been Kang killing Scott Lang and Ant-Man Scott Lang. And I thought that would have set him up even on a higher pedestal as the next big bad villain.
That'd be cool.
I just don't see a character like that. I mean, in the middle of the movie, Kang says, I'm going to kill your daughter and just repeat time and make you watch it over and over again. I'm like, holy shit, that's like that's some real shit. You know what I mean? He is the destroyer of worlds and time, and he loses to Ant-Man. Didn't make sense for me. Another thing is when Janet's telling Hank Pym about, Kang and how they were friends for years. They definitely hooked up. They definitely had sex. That would have been the first question I asked my wife is like, yo, did you sleep with this dude? She didn't ask him that. That was bullshit. And what's the last movie? Guardians, dude. Guardians would be an S for me, but I'm going to put it as my third A. And the only reason I say it, I loved High Evolutionary. I love the story of Rocket. It's just, I hate people and love animals. There was just way too much animal torture in it for me. Like, I don't like that shit, dude. Otherwise, it would have been an S for me. So that's it. That rounds out my list. The Marvels, I'll check out when it comes on Disney Plus. Definitely ain't paying for that. And that's it.
I feel like we should do like a quick, is there anything we want to move around or like go over our lists and then wrap it up?
I just got to throw Guardians on my list, and Guardians is actually going to round out my S tier. It's going to be the final one behind Iron Man, but ahead of the first Avengers. So really quick, let's just do a top 10. Let's do a top 10 and get out of here. Davis, you want to do yours first?
You do yours because I'm going to see. I might rearrange a little bit.
All right, here's my top 10, guys. Number 1 for me, Guardians of the Galaxy, number 1. Number 2 for me is Winter Soldier. Number 3, Infinity War. Number 4, Iron Man, number 1. And my 5th is Guardians of the Galaxy, number 3, volume 3. That I think I need to move something here, but I got Avengers as my 6, the first Avengers, Ragnarok as 7, Endgame as 8, Doctor Strange as 9, Civil War as 10. That's my top 10. I'm actually confident and comfortable with that top 10. I'll be honest with you. I like my top 10.
All right, fair enough. I'm kind of debating this last chunk here. I think these could rotate anywhere. I think one day I'd have Guardians for sure up here, but then I think that I cared more about the Avengers by this point because of, this is their second movie. They all had solo films. Guardians I liked a lot, and they were really easy to attach, to latch onto as characters. But at this point, I was just already invested in these characters. So that's why I kind of feel like I wanted above Guardians. And Doctor Strange, I think, is super underrated. I think Infinity War I don't know if it'll ever be topped. Guardians, I didn't think would top Winter Soldier, but it was so unexpected and so good. Winter Soldier, you know how I feel about that. I think I'm confident in this. I think, like I said, these last 4 could be interchanged at any point, and I'd be happy with them.
All right, let's go. Jay, top 10.
I'm sticking with it. I ain't moving a damn thing, dude. I thought about this. I said what I had to say. This is how it stands.
All right.
That's it.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So Iron Man 2 barely edged out of the top 10.
Yeah. All right. So I was a couple off. I like the extremist stuff though, but yeah, this is it, man. I mean, I wish we could do a whole comic book. Yeah, we should come back and do this and each do our top 10 comic book movies. Not all
we can
MCU.
do that, man.
That'd be cool.
Just in
All
general.
night, all day.
Because I don't even know, dude. An MCU will probably make my top 10, but there's not going to be many, dude. There's not going to be many.
Now you'd be surprised.
I like that idea. Maybe like next month we do like an all comic book movies.
I like that.
We could
Dark
also
Knight
do
is number
all
1
DC,
for me,
but
guys.
I was gonna say we could do an all DC, but all DC being not just the DCEU. Like it also has the Batman movies. It's got the old Batman movies. It's got
absolutely. Batman 1989 is definitely in my top 3, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. That could be fun because it's like that narrows it down. All comic movies might be like we got to start like a few hours earlier because that's gonna be a long show.
I'll prepare for that because that's something that I'd really be into.
Let's plan for that. Let's plan for that. I'll put together a tier list and we'll try and do that at some point in the next month or so or something like that. That'd be sick.
Yeah. All right. So that's it, guys. That's our whole show. Davis, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah. Jay, appreciate it. I know this ran just over 2 hours. My God, just about 2 hours. But we got through the whole MCU, and what we've learned is Jay doesn't like phase 4 or 5.
Nah, all F's. F's down the board, pretty much.
Hated it.
Widow in the sea. You had Shang-Chi. Like you don't hate all of it.
I don't hate all. Now, I don't hate anything, right? But I dislike a lot of stuff, and I
hated Love and Thunder.
It goes back to my reading, dude. Like I compare too much, and I know I shouldn't, but dude. Fucking, it's fun to talk about it and have the chat involved and come in and voice our opinions. I think it's pretty cool. Meet new people, and that's it, man. I'm excited. Listen, I'm excited, right? We got Terrificon. Davis, you coming to Terrificon?
I think I'll probably be there this year, yeah.
Let's
there's
go.
More separation between San Diego and Terrificon. That's why. Last year was back-to-back. This time it was like a month between them.
Yeah, King Con is in April, right, Jay? We got King Con in April. We've got Terrificon in August, middle of August in Connecticut, and then New York Comic Con. That is the middle of October. That's going to be a lot of fun. So,
real quick,
book.
Terrificon got to be the best show to hang out and just chill with everybody. 100%.
Yeah,
guys, if I could tell you to come to any show, it's 100% Terrificon.
Yeah,
everyone, it's just a party.
Nothing, Davis. You got.
It's a good. I only went the one time. I loved it. It was a great time. But you guys got the years of experience on it. I think that I probably would say that the convention I enjoy the most is San Diego because I just get to drive down there, and it's San Diego Comic Con. What's there not to love about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll get out there, Jay. What are we doing? Vegas? We're gonna try to do a Vegas.
Well, yeah, I think Vegas is in line this year, but I'm most excited for Terrific. Yo, it's a 3-day party in an indoor city.
Vegas convention is not great. Amazing Con in Vegas isn't that great.
Well, depends what you're going for, I guess.
Yeah. If you're going there for the casinos and stuff, but I don't like standing in an elevator to go to my hotel room with a guy smoking a cigarette. Personally.
Terrificon is the one. Jay's right though. Terrificon is. You don't leave the building for 3 days.
Yeah.
You have great
Listen,
food every night. There's
this-
bars
this-
everywhere. The show is phenomenal.
The show is great, right? There's not the lines in New York City and San Diego, but it's about hanging out at the bars and the restaurants afterwards. Like that's what sells me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all good people. Everyone's having a good time. So, but we'll be at all.
All
of
right.
them.
Not
I'm
sponsored.
out
by-
of here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys a ton. And maybe we'll do top 10 superhero movies next month. And we'll do a little research and come up with a good top 10.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you, too, again, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Later, guys.
See you later.